It's the cold hard truth. Everyone really want to know what's going on with her show. Just get on the air and you will know it's Sandra. The queen of the mile road is here, helping people from everywhere. Get on the phone and you will hear Sandra. Now she will tell you how it goes, but don't you ever step on her toes, cause you will hear the cold hard truth from Sandra. They say she's the hero in town, helping people from all around. You get a call, your money is found, it's Sandra. Some will call her late at night just to say that there is a fight, and she will not just leave it alone. She'll get up and call on the phone, and when politics starts on her show, everyone really wants to know the way the things will really go with Sandra. Some will start to criticize, get on the show and tell pure lies, but soon they will realize it's Sandra. And when they start to argue again, she'll pull the heads to the wind, and soon you will be a friend of Sandra. Cause every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. Every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra. Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, K-Man. Happy Tuesday. How is everyone doing this dreary, but still glorious and wonderful Tuesday morning? I don't know how the weather is in West Bay, but what I can tell you is here in the Savannah, Newlands area, the sun is trying. I kind of see it peeping through just a little bit. Just a little bit. Don't know if we're going to have a full sunshine come out today, but you know, it's doing its best to get there. So, how is everyone doing? Hope that everyone's having a wonderful Tuesday morning. Of course, we're monitoring a few stories for you here today, and we will keep you updated. So, I'm going to put down, I'm just trying something out here on Facebook. It has a feature, like a poll feature in the show, but I don't actually know, I'll be honest with you, how it shows up, but I'm going to just put it in there. And if you see it show up anywhere, let me know. So it's a fun question. Have you taken down your Christmas tree? Because, you know, yeah, there's some of us who are still late with taking down the Christmas tree. So let me know where the poll question shows up, because I'm curious myself, and I will, I'd be interested to see that. Yes. Okay. And I'm aware that there's a little typo in the title. My apologies. I can't actually fix it now that we're live, but I will fix it after the show so I can correct it post. Okay. Well, there's a lot going on, and there is a lot that I am monitoring for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and just update the URLs now as well. So give me one quick second to do that. So that means that once you click on those, you'll have the current show. So remember, now we're reusing the same URLs every single day for the show. It's just that we are updating them in pretty much real time in the morning. So once we go live, we will then do the updates, and you refresh it just in a second here, and you'll be able to get the current one. So I've just done Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and do the YouTube one now, and then we are good to go. So a couple lost and found dogs yesterday. My apologies. Seems like little doggies. Some were getting out and getting lost, and the owners were looking for some, and then others, it was the actual people who found them. So thankfully, I think both dogs that were reported yesterday have been reunited with their families. I know we were talking about one yesterday morning. The person who found him, that was Prospect area, he's back with his family. And then there was another one that had gone missing. Was he Savannah area? So please remember, folks, that it's not just the fireworks that can scare dogs. Some dogs are not fond of rain and lightning and thunder and all that sort of stuff as well. So a lot of times, they'll take off just out of fear. And, the wind, I think I showed you guys about my poor little Oscar. He was such a bipolar little thing sometimes, very passive aggressive, but when you're a mother, you love your little doggies no matter what. And they're like your kids. So I always used to say, yep, that's a dog only a mother could love. Because boy, he was extra special. But anyway, after Hurricane Ivan, which both of my dogs went through at the time, he was very afraid of the wind. Anytime there was a strong wind that kind of rattled the windows and stuff like that, he was not fond of that situation at all. Well, we've got a caller early this morning. Good morning,
Sandy, good morning. It's not Monday, it's Tuesday.
Did I say Monday? When did I say Monday?
Yes, you did.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. I was wondering what's the urgency of this one call? Oh my goodness. I thought I said happy Tuesday at the beginning. Did I say Monday after that? I guess anything's possible. I'll own it if that's what I said. Ooh, honey chill. Yes. Okay. What a mess. We're good. It's Tuesday. I don't want to confuse you guys. It is Tuesday. Okay. Anyway, oh my goodness. I have to make a request this morning. This is really serious. Some of you are circulating something about a loved one who is in the hospital, loved one of people. And what I want to ask you guys to do, because of course you're messaging me, and I'm not in a position to confirm something like this unless I really, really know. And so the first thing I do is I try my best to verify it. And you guys know, I have eyes and ears everywhere. I've got sources all over the place. So what I'm going to tell you guys this morning is the current rumor. It was circulating last night, and it wasn't true last night. It has already started circulating this morning. I've gotten it numerous times from different people, and I can tell you that it's not true this morning. I know some people feel anxious when they know that certain people in the community are not well. But can I please beg you to remember that, this particular person, his mother is still very much alive. He's got a son that is en route from overseas. people are here, brothers and cousins and other people trying their best to just keep it together. And in the midst of what seems like an impossible situation, they are also praying for a miracle. And I think when these rumors start circulating, you're taking the possibility of that miracle away from people. Okay? So in the name of just easing up, don't be so anxious to call it. Just allow people to go through their own process. I know it's a small community. I understand that he's well known, but I think it's unfair to constantly be dealing with these rumors of someone passing when they have not. Okay? Now I'm telling you, this person is very much alive still. Please just ease up on the rumor mill. Just leave it alone. Whatever will be, will be. Some of you are in these groups from last night, sending out messages that are simply not true. As someone who's been there and made that mistake, take it from me, don't do it. All right, that's all I really want to say about this. Because I am getting a lot of messages and people tell me, well, Sandy, it's true this time. I'm like, listen, I don't want to hear it, honestly. Okay? I'm telling you it's not true as of this minute. So please stop. Okay, that's all I can say about that. The roadways remain a precarious situation. So please take your time. It's still kind of rainy out there. That adds to the ongoing issues. So we're going to talk about some of the updates with the accidents, but we do have some guests in the studio. And so with a warm, cold, hard truth, welcome. I'd like you to put your virtual hands together. And we're going to welcome our guests into the studio this morning. So good morning to everyone who's here. I see Miss Stephanie was the first one to jump into the comment section. Good morning, Miss Stephanie. How are you? I see, who else we got here? Damaris joining us from NYC. Island Pearl, Aliano, Strong Wilt is here. Wee in the house. Aliano says winds northeast, 22 plus miles per hour. Really? Doesn't feel like that. Light overcast to shattered clouds, 50 to 60% rainy day. Weatherman out. Back to you, Sandy. Well, thank you. More rain in the forecast, and we need it. We needed it. Later on, I'll show you guys a picture of our Jamaican apple tree. And boy, is she loaded this year. OMG. I've never seen so many apples in my life. Good morning, Miss Juanita. Miss Emma is here. Marshall from North Carolina joining us. Felicia, Patricia Blake in the house. Strong Wilt says, Sandy, you said Tuesday. I don't know. I'm not going to pick an argument over Monday or Tuesday, but I was pretty confident I did say Tuesday, but that's okay. It's all right. She heard Monday in the UK. Maybe it's a time difference. We got Abby in the house. Demure, good morning. Dean Sinclair is here. Yes, good morning, beautiful peeps. Shaka Zulu's in the house. And good morning, Auntie Sandy and the CMR TV fam. Oh, Scott said there's an accident in Walker's Road by Vamp Service Center off to the side as it appears they drove into a parked car. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Be careful. Not just of the driving cars, but the parked ones too. Strong Wilt says too much false gossip. Yes, indeed. Robert, good morning to you, sir. Siobhan is in the house. Mitzi and countless others joining us this morning. And so, yes, oh my God, please stop the rumors. Someone says, imagine his son getting on a plane this morning and hearing that. It's not good. So please, I'm begging you guys, Ease up, ease up. Okay. Your son is trying to get here from a very, very long distance. So it's going to be a very long flight for him, no doubt. All right. Let's just embrace each other during these rather difficult times. Let's go. Can I welcome into the studio members of the Alex Panton Foundation? It's that time of year again. It's hard to believe that we have the 2026 Alex Panton Youth Mental Health Symposium that's actually coming up here shortly. Emily Kelly, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Happy New Year. I don't think we've seen you since last year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Hope you've had a good start to 2026.
Yeah, not too bad. Emily is the executive director at the Alex Panton Foundation. She's always smiling. Such a beautiful smile.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this morning. And we also have Miss Renee Ebanks. Now you got a new name on there. Oh no, that you put there was a space and dash. I was thinking your name was hyphenated for a second.
Oh no, we're good.
I'm like, Renee get married. All right, so Renee Ebanks is also joining us as one of the team members at the Alex Panton Foundation, and she's the program manager there. And it's a small but mighty team, as they say, doing really, really amazing work. So we are going to have a discussion on the upcoming symposium. And I mean, am I the only one who's feeling like it's been a year already?
Not at all. Time is flying. It certainly came very quickly.
Yeah, it's January 20th, and someone told me Happy New Year yesterday. I was like, okay.
Yeah, so we're going to get all the details about the symposium. I really must say that, you know, I've gone for a few years in a row now, and I learned so much. You always have such an amazing lineup, and it's like a moment for me as a parent, as a community member, a voice in the community, to just sit back and learn. Like, the learning experience is just off the chain amazing. How do you guys decide, and this is just a little question about your process, but how do you decide what will be the theme and the focus for any particular year?
Well, that's a great question, because we really take our time to make sure we get it right. And something we are intentional with is ensuring that each year builds on the last. So at least the first symposium when I was with the team was, or just before joining the team, was Let's Talk About Trauma. And so you step from opening up that box of really being candid about the trauma that the community is experiencing. And then you step into the following theme of building bridges, and how do we be intentional about making connections in our community that can support those who have experienced all of that trauma. And then last year, flowing into Turn the Tide Together, providing hope for our youth, really taking everything that we've learned and building momentum with it, which has now beautifully brought us into this year, which is Lighting the Way, turning hope into action. So I think that our symposium committee does a really beautiful job of thinking about what the community is experiencing, what available data is telling us, and combining that to really make sure our theme aligns with what the community needs.
Yeah. Because I'm always taken aback by the themes that you pick, the lineup that you have around that, just the support is really, really amazing. So the theme this year is Lighting the Way, Turning Hope into Action. Tell me a little bit, ladies, about that theme. What exactly were you hoping to capture with that one this year?
Renee, you want me to cover that one?
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so with that theme this year, as you said, you know, every year you go, you learn something new, you gain more understanding, gain more knowledge. But we want to ensure that, yeah, you have the knowledge, but how are we going to do the practical stuff now? How are we going to apply it to our daily lives and how we interact with the young persons in our life? So this year is about equipping the adults in our community to help them support the youth in our community, because at the end of the day, the youth, they have personal responsibility, but they only have so much authority, whereas it's really the adult's responsibility to take care of the youth. So We're just equipping the adults to gear the next generation.
Yeah. Wow. And it's challenging because, you know, as adults, we come into a space where we think we understand what our young people are going through and what it is that they're doing. And the truth of the matter is, I feel like we don't really, you know, as much as we want to believe that we have a good grasp on things, that maybe we have to admit that we don't know as much as we think we know. And so from that perspective, I'm hoping that all parents and, you know, just aunts and uncles and adult members of the community are actually paying attention to this, because it's very easy, I feel like, to get it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
It can be very difficult to navigate as well if it's not something that you feel you can relate to or have experienced yourself. And we know that the adults care and that they try, and what matters is the effort on top of tangible skills. So we understand that you can have all the good intentions in the world, however the impact that you have is much greater. So if we can match the energy of good intentions with the level of skill and understanding and helpful language on how to navigate those sensitive conversations, situations, that is just the most beautiful combination to really help our young people thrive.
Okay, wonderful. We're going to get into some of the details.
And I also just want to add is.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. So something had happened. Sorry about the Wi-Fi connection. It's the weather, I think. So now I just want to also add to that. Most of our adults, as Emily said, do try, and they do get some things right. And we don't want to shame them into coming to this symposium. We want to acknowledge what they're currently doing right, their wins, but also how can we tweak it? What can we add to your toolbox in order to create healthier relationships with those in your life, with those youth in your life, right? So we want to just give you more tools at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's always a very practical element of what you do. So we are going to go through some of the details as well, in terms of, you know, what people will be able to find out from the actual lineup at the symposium. So first of all, let's go ahead and let people know the date and some of the registration details, which we'll repeat several times during this segment so that nobody says, oh, I thought I still had another day.
Yeah. So the date is Saturday, the 21st of February of this year. So coming up just a month away now. It'll be from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and it'll be hosted at Hotel Indigo in Grand Cayman in West Bay. So it is free and open to the public, open to parents, educators, healthcare professionals, youth workers, community members, and of course, you know, young adults and teens themselves. And to register, you visit alexpantonfoundation.ky to register. You can also access it through our social media platforms as well on Instagram and Facebook.
And I just want to add to that registration, please register because spaces are limited. So we need to make sure that we have the proper amount of seats for you.
Absolutely. Yep. And we always see people wait until the last minute and then there's a mad rush to register. So don't wait till the last minute because it allows the organizers to plan accordingly. You know, I think normally they give you a little lunch, there's snacks available and stuff. So all these logistical things require having a pretty good idea of how many will actually be in attendance. So Saturday, the 21st of February, this is a wonderful opportunity to just get online now and go through the registration process, which is really, really easy to do. Nothing complicated about that. So let's go into maybe a little bit of a deeper dive into the theme and then what guests we're going to expect to have at the lineup this year.
Absolutely. So diving a little bit more into the theme, of course, Renee and I have touched on it quite a bit of better equipping adults, and understanding is a huge part of learning. So if you want to acquire all of the tools to help, the first step is understanding what's happening and understanding how to recognize signs that a young person in your life is having a difficult time. They may be struggling with mental health difficulties. So being present for an event like this and just absorbing so much information from incredible mental health professionals, people who are doing the work in the community, who are directly connected to young people, is one of the best ways to learn and to understand, second only to hearing it directly from the young people themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, you know, young people can also come to this symposium. We should say that because I've seen in the past young ambassadors and, you know, even some parents will bring young people there who've been struggling in hopes that, you know, there's something that will happen during the event that will touch them and allow them to perhaps open up more and know that there is help that's available to them.
Yes, and we also have many exhibitors from across the community that are present at the symposium as well. So in addition to learning from the incredible speaker lineup that we have, you can also connect with so many different mental health stakeholders across the islands. And I think that is something that's really special about the event too, where you can go to all of their booths and just chat with them when you may not have had another opportunity to interact with that particular resource.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important too, because sometimes we don't exactly know the amount of resources that are on island. So having them there in person, and if a topic has touched you, you can go to that particular resource or that particular clinic or stakeholders, as Emily said, and you can start the process from there. Like, so you can start taking action from that moment as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I remember the first year I came and I saw the lineup, as you say, of like NPOs and organizations. The hall was full. I was surprised that there were so many there. We do have a caller who is joining us this morning. Good morning, caller. You have a question or comment for a guest?
Yes, Miss Sandra. I'm calling to let you know that they fired me from Palmice for nothing.
Okay, so we have guests on right now. We're live and we have guests on. So we are going to ask you to call back after our guests have left.
What time you want me to call back? Because I want to go on the Mall Sugar Talk too.
Okay. All right. I think we have them scheduled for about until 8:45. But if they leave early or anything, I'll just WhatsApp you and let you know.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, my dear. No problem. Okay. So yeah, so for this segment, we're going to try to keep, you know, the comments and questions specific to the upcoming symposium and the Alex Panton Foundation, if we can, please and thank you. Yeah, so we have Aisle 2025 who is saying, I'm 30 years old and I struggle with my mental health. I think the word, I think that's just really the work they do is important, but I don't think the causes of depression are being addressed or talked about enough, just how to treat it. I think that had you ever attended one of the symposiums, you know that that probably isn't true. So this is why, you know, whether you're 30, maybe even 13 or 60, come out to this event because you learn so much. They do look at the causes, and especially for our youth, which this is a youth symposium, one of the impactful things in this day and age is the technology, right? Having access to these phones and social media, and it does a lot to you. And I remember, I think it was last year, I was really, really taken aback by how the younger you give young people access to this stuff, the social media platforms, the more detrimental that is going to be to their health and well-being. So they do look at the causes. You know, they have a fairly good idea of why a lot of young people are struggling, in particular since COVID. But how would you ladies respond, Renee and Emily, to that constructive comment?
You want me to take that?
Go ahead, sure.
Okay. So when it comes to depression, there are many multiple factors that contribute to the symptoms of depression or the mental health disorder of depression, right? And I can understand where she's coming from because validating is a big part of someone who's going through a mental health concern or struggle. Like, you want to validate their experiences as well. So I do validate her perspective as well. But as you said, that there are a lot of information at the symposium. And going back to it as well, we do talk about treatment and the solutions, but it is important to understand the underlying factors, and that is where personal responsibility come in to engage in services. But also, if you don't know what services are available, that's really hard to take care of yourself. So that's why we have the Alex Panton Foundation, which is our core values are support, awareness, and advocacy, right? So that is, and I'm glad that she said that, because I'm pretty sure she's not the only person who feels that way. So that's why we're here on these public platforms to provide that information. Say, hey, we understand your concern. We understand your experience. We do provide resources, and we do provide the knowledge around the underlying issues or the underlying factors that contribute to depression. We are trying to work towards that, and we would like you to come along and be a part of that community with us, so you don't feel alone in this journey.
Yes. And I mean, there's so much wonderful information and resources available on the website as well. So it would probably be remiss of us to not mention what resources are here and what people can find. So Emily, maybe you can tackle that one.
Yes, absolutely. We have our kids helpline. I know she mentioned her age was 30, but just one of the most prominent resources that we have available just to read online is our kids helpline website. And that has content for kids and teens that speaks directly to them on what could potentially be experiencing depressive symptoms, symptoms of anxiety, and a number of different mental illnesses. And it also has sections for parents and educators on how to recognize those signs in young people and what might be leading to that. So that is probably our most robust resource that is just available with a quick search online. Our resource page on the Alex Panton Foundation's website also has resources where you can learn more. We do community outreach presentations where by request, we can talk about any number of mental illnesses, what can lead to experiencing those, how to cope in healthy ways, and what resources are available. So that actually was what the foundation was born out of, was a real focus on depression and anxiety and what causes young people to experience that and how to cope through that and get support in healthy ways. So I really do appreciate her sharing her story. She's struggling, and please know that we're sending a lot of love to you and that there are so many resources available, just a few of which that we just mentioned.
And I'm just going to add a resource that she could personally tap into even up till today, right? You don't have to go anywhere to access this. And this is K-Mind, right? So that is our partner organization in terms of the helpline. So that's the adult helpline. So that is available on our website as well in order for her to contact, and she can talk to someone who has been trained to go through this with her, to just hear her story, just to listen, because at the end of the day, most people just want someone to listen to them.
So IL 2025, reach out. I mean, there is help in the sense that even just to talk about what the underlying issues are. These are experts that they have available to you. So ISLE goes on to say many people are struggling to survive on the island, young people included. You can seek help, but the problem still exists. So the depression, anxiety will still exist. It's learning how to cope with it, right?
Yeah. And it's also not just the onus on the individual, right? It's on the systems in place as well. And that is something that is being worked on too. I don't want to talk too much about that, but that is something that we have learned from our Inspire event data, our kids helpline data, along with Alex's Place data. And that was a partnership with HSA and Alex. I think I'm missing a partnership.
The ministry.
Ministry, right. So we have the data. We understand that this is what the youth are struggling with. And now there's work on that research. So it is slowly coming around. So we understand that it's not just on the individual, but it's on the systems as well.
Absolutely. And the only way that you can get to solutions, quite frankly, is if you understand the cause. I mean, you can't really fix something. It's like taking your car into the mechanic. They can't say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to fix it for you," if they don't actually know what the problem is. And as human beings, it's the same thing with our physical health, our mental health, and well-being. You've got to understand what's going on in order to come up with viable solutions. And when I say fix, I mean sometimes it's just coping mechanisms. Like, how do you get through the day and cope with what you're dealing with? There are resources available, and there are clinicians and others in this specialty who have a very, very good understanding of what the stresses are that are put on young people in particular. Yeah, wow. Thank you, Isle 2025, for that. So let's talk about some of the guest speakers. I mean, it's a long list of people. 13? That's a lot. How do you pack that into one day is my first question.
That's why it's 9 a.m. to 4:30.
Very strategically.
Yes, it's a lot of people. So let's talk about who is going to be there and who some of the keynote speakers are.
Yeah, so we are really grateful to have a beautiful lineup of people who are really passionate and have submitted topics that align very well with our theme this year, Lighting the Way, Turning Hope into Action. I'll start off with, I'll be presenting alongside Hilton Grace about mental health first aid, Cayman Islands. And the Cayman Islands became a licensed partner in March of last year, March 2025, which was an incredible milestone where our country is now licensed to have our own mental health first aid curriculum that is centered around local statistics, of course, still with the backing of the global research and the caliber of the Mental Health First Aid International Program, but it's now catered to our community and speaks to our community's lived experiences, the local statistics, and training videos with people that look like members of our community. And that is a really beautiful and exciting thing. So Hilton and I are thrilled to be able to speak to what that means for our community, how that will look in action in terms of changing the way that our interpersonal relationships operate, how we function in our day-to-day in the workplaces, and how that can truly make a difference. So that will be one of the shorter presentations and giving details about what the rollout is going to look like for this year in the next few months. And yeah, so I'm excited to share the stage with Hilton and highlight that big accomplishment.
And we have some others I see here. Of course, we will have Ms. Jane Panton, who's chair of the Alex Panton Foundation, giving some opening remarks. And Ms. Lizette Yearwood, who's the alternate deputy chairman and director. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about how the Alex Panton Foundation is structured, because I do feel like sometimes people don't really even know much about the foundation itself.
Yes, absolutely. We have a group of directors, and then we have our executive committee. So Jane Panton is the chairperson of the foundation and the founder, and Haley Robinson is the deputy chair, and then Lizette is the deputy alternate. And then we have a few other directors as well. And then we have an executive committee, which is the larger committee that meets monthly. And that committee is full of the chairs from our subcommittees. So we've got a marketing subcommittee, a fundraising subcommittee, our clinical and education, our legal and policy. So we've got all of these different functions that feed into the executive committee. And then we have our incredible staff of 3, Michelle Powell, alongside Renee and myself. And then, I mean, the most incredible cohort of volunteers that you could ever imagine, because all of our subcommittees are fueled by volunteers, people who dedicate their time and energy and knowledge into building up the foundation's resources and impacting the community on a far and wide scale. Our Kids Helpline volunteers. I mean, yeah, we are a volunteer heavy organization, and we love and adore and appreciate them all very dearly. So that's kind of the structure of the Alex Panton Foundation.
Mhm.
And you mentioned before, we have both Jane and Lizette speaking. So Lizette will do more of the formal opening remarks, and Jane
Okay.
actually, we're so thrilled and proud of her. She is planning to share more about Alex's story and how the foundation came to be, and just to truly remind us and the community of our why and how this foundation came to be what it is today, the incredible pillar of mental health education, awareness, and advocacy, and remind us of Alex, because I feel we talk about the foundation so much, and his story can sometimes get lost in the background. And we want to make sure that the community is reminded, especially for those who are just now getting to know the foundation in recent years and haven't necessarily kept up with it over the last 8 to 10 years. This is a really, really special moment for Jane and her family to share more about Alex and his story, what he experienced, and how this foundation was born in his memory. So we're very proud of Jane for being willing to step up and share more about him, and we're very much looking forward to her sharing that.
That's amazing. Because no doubt that's asking a lot. It's, I suppose it never gets easier. We also have some other people. Of course, the governor will give some remarks, as well as the Honorable Margaret Ramsey Hale. We've got the Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes. Then we get into some of the experts. So we have Dr. Stinnett. Am I pronouncing that one? Yes, Stinnett Davis.
Yes.
Tell us what will Dr. Stinnett Davis touch on?
So his topic is looking more at improving mental health outcomes in teens and young adults. So he's going to give more information around what mental health looks like in terms of what are the symptoms versus the disorders, and how to treat that, and looking at the underlying factors as well. And then also destigmatizing medication, the use of medication in treatment, because at the end of the day, sometimes that is what's needed too, right? For a healthier outcome. So he's going to look at the importance of medication in treatment. So yeah, I'm really excited to hear that. I think a lot of times our community, and even sometimes I have to check my own personal biases around medication too, right? Because you don't always hear nice things about medication, or you hear more about the side effects and what this does in X, Y, and Z. But looking at the importance of medication in treatment, in treating depression and anxiety as well. And again, that's not something that everyone has to do or has to go on, but it is very helpful for a lot of individuals who struggle with that mental health disorder. So I'm really excited to learn more about that, for sure.
Yeah. Amazing. We also have Counselor Alyssa Gross, who's going to be giving some remarks as well.
Yeah. So her topic is more on healing through expression, right? So looking how creativity helps teens move from overwhelm to hope. And she's an art therapist, and just looking at different ways that a teen, because as we know, a lot of teenagers don't actually like to talk about their situation, especially to adults, right? Because they feel like adults don't understand them. And there's some truth to that, right? That's why we put the symposium on. But just giving them another outlet to express themselves in a way that feels good to them and not forced. So she's going to look at the importance of art therapy, but also look at the importance of just expressing yourself in these creative art mediums. So I'm excited for that as well.
We do have an audience question and comment here. Miss Joyce, good morning, Miss Joyce, says, my grandson is 20 and he has issues. He lives with me. He stays in his room. Work ethics. He does not have the will to hold a job. Very quiet, loner. I believe that he needs mental evaluation. Where do we go?
So we did mention earlier about our page, alexpantonfoundation.ky, and we have loads of resources on that page, which looks at private clinics as well as public clinics. And even the helplines too. Sometimes you can just call a helpline to just get some more resources and better direction of where to go, because when you give them the information, or even just calling any of the clinics on our resources and just have the front person at the front desk talk to you about your concerns, they can actually say, hey, this is what we need to do. This is the appointment set up. An intake appointment can be set. So there are many different avenues that they can go. And we do have public sector clinics as well that provides free therapy too. So I know sometimes that finances is an issue and health insurance coverage is an issue. So that is something that there is on island for that too. So if you look at our website, there you can get the resources there.
All right, so I'm going to just have that website address scrolling there at the bottom, Ms. Joyce, so that you and others can just take a note of it on how to go to the website, because the website has a lot of resources.
Yeah.
And so that's a good point of, starting. So
and also
hopefully-
looking at the tab too, right? Because we do have a lot of tabs. Just want to be mindful. It's not going to be right in your face as soon as you get on the website. There is a resources tab on the top. And just click that and you'll get the resource list from there.
Wonderful. All right, Ms. Joyce, keep us posted, and we're hoping that you can get to the right resources as quickly as possible, but that there is help. There is hope, and there is help out there. We have a few others on the lineup. Dr. Ryan Punambolam.
Yes, Dr. Ryan Punambolam. And he's going to look at rewiring hope. So the neuroscience of stress, anxiety, and resilience in Cayman's youth. So a lot of times when we see behavioral issues or behavioral concerns, we just think that it's behavioral, it's just them doing the thing. But mental health is about the mind. So a lot of times too, his speech is going to look at how certain neural pathways or how certain brain connections have happened in order to elicit certain behaviors or certain outcomes. So just looking from a more neuroscience, more science perspective, and actually understanding the biological perspective of certain behaviors or certain emotions. So yeah, that one I'm really excited about, because sometimes I feel like our community thinks it's just behavioral. Oh, you just need to behave better. No, it's the rewiring of their brain from their experiences. So, or biology, right? So I think that one's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to his presentation as well. I think because the way that he's posed his presentation is breaking down those biological details into everyday terms that we can understand and take back to our environments. So that, again, really focusing on providing people, attendees, with practical tools they can walk away with. Yeah. This will be a really helpful way to do that.
Yeah.
And I do think too, right, because people think that their brains are wired a specific way, he's going to show that you can actually rewire your brain to behave and think differently as well. So I think that's really interesting. So yeah.
Yes. If I may say, I noticed that you guys have a purposeful, I'm sure, focus on having local experts come on the program, like people who are actually here in the Cayman Islands, as opposed to flying in, an expert speaker. You really rely on the practitioners that are here on island. Tell us a little bit about why that is being done.
Well, who better to speak to our community than the people that are doing the work in the community? And we understand the value of that. And we see that people are also more responsive to people that they have seen out in the field, or we know how small Cayman is, where a friend, oh, I've gone to this practitioner, or I've gone to this service provider, and I know that their counselors have been really helpful. And I think that part of the draw of the symposium is people see trust in the experts that we're putting up in our community. And that is really important for us to maintain trust with the community, so that they know where they can turn to when they need the support.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And there's more speakers. I'm sure we'll have the opportunity between now and a month's time when the symposium is actually on to speak to some of them specifically. So, stay tuned, continue to watch this space because it really is a fantastic lineup this year. Now, you don't want to miss this event. So we're going to go ahead and just recap before we allow our guests to go. But it is going to be Saturday, the 21st of February, literally almost an exact month away. And it's from, is it actually 8 a.m.? It's starting at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. until 4:30
Yes.
At the Hotel Indigo.
Yeah. 9 a.m. to 4:30 Hotel Indigo, Saturday the 21st. Please, please, please take a moment to register. It's entirely free. It is free and open to the public, but we just ask that the community members register so we have an understanding of who to expect, how many to expect. And you can register at alexpantonfoundation.ky or through our social media channels. We have the links there if you go to our link trees. And I, of course, want to make sure that we highlight we have 40 plus sponsors for this event to ensure that it is free and available to the public. Particularly want to give a shout out to our premium sponsors, Tower, Butterfield Bank, our gold sponsor, Kiman Mall Road, for hosting us this morning as well, along with DART, our lunch sponsor. And again, we've got over 40 people who are contributing to this event to ensure that it is an incredible day, a resourceful day, and one that is free and available to everybody.
Yes. Let's have a look at the website because we're going to make this really easy for people. So when yes, when you come to the website, you just scroll down just a little bit and you see right before upcoming events, it actually says it right here, the Annual Youth Mental Health Symposium. You can click and learn more, and then it'll take you to the dedicated page for this year's symposium. And there's the register now URL. So you just click on that and you're just filling out a few things. Should I go ahead and register myself?
Yeah, register.
All right. I'm going to do it right now.
Perfect.
Okay, CMR. How did you hear about us? Word of mouth, I'm going to put, because all those apply. And then please tick if you'd like to sign up for the database. I think I already get it. So,
yeah, our newsletters, we do bi-monthly newsletters.
And then submit. And that's it.
Beautiful.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So it was that easy. Just a couple little questions. And now they know for sure that I'm coming. And so please, folks, go ahead and get registered. It was the easiest thing to do. So just go to the main page, go kind of halfway down the page, not even a full halfway, and then you click on learn more and it'll redirect you to the registration page. And then you've got upcoming events. We gotta at some point talk about some of these things. So this is fantastic. There's a lot of information here on this website. It's really, really well designed. And, check it out. If you've never visited the website before, please visit the website. A big shout out to all of the partners and supporters that really work in tandem with the Alex Panton Foundation to try to create safer spaces for our young people, trying to create resources for them and help for them so that they know that there's always someone that they can reach out to.
Absolutely. And I want to add a reminder as well, because we did have people share their own experiences and ask how to get help. Up on that top tab, it says find help, and then the drop down says resources. We've got a very long list of all the public and private service providers and other support that you can have as well.
Yep. So all the way at the top right there, find help. We've got emergency contacts, resources, and other useful links.
Beautiful.
Awesome. And these people in this picture here are part of your, are these the board members or?
No, that is a combination of team members from the foundation's inception. So that year,
okay.
Some of the early days with, it's a combination of the founders, executive members, volunteers. So yeah, we've just got some rotating photos on the website.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
I love the demonstration of the website, by the way.
Yes. Absolutely. We love to be interactive here on the show and just show people how easy it is really, sometimes to navigate, because not everyone is, quote unquote tech savvy. So we like to do, what do they say? Do by showing, demonstration. So that's always the best way to get it done. Ladies, thank you so much. We had Renee Ebanks and Miss Emily Kelly. And by the way, Emily, Charmaine Lawrence said, "My sweet Emily, good morning, sunshine."
Hi, Charmaine. I love Charmaine.
Yes, we have over 200 people listening to the program just on social media alone. Miss Barbara saying good morning to everyone. Miss Susan saying good morning. And Miss Lucille has a comment. She says, "Emily, I'm listening. Good job you all are doing, but I can tell you girls that mental health is very hard to deal with and not a good feeling. Some medication does help, but it takes a lot to get over mental health. You can get better, but you have to open up to someone you trust. And I can't explain. All I can say is it's not easy. It's not an easy job to get out of it. And I think there is this perhaps a little bit of a misconception that you're getting out of it, that you're going to be miraculously cured. And that probably isn't maybe quite, the way to start thinking about mental health. It's part of who you are. And so you learn more coping mechanisms, like things that you can do to make yourself feel better and to put yourself in, a different frame of mind, as you say, rewiring those neurons and so forth. But some people will struggle their entire lives.
And it's a journey too, right?
Yep.
It's a human experience.
Yes.
It's a human experience. And what is most important is, like you said, finding helpful ways to cope, surrounding yourself with loved ones, people that you can share joy with alongside all of the hardship. And we're doing everything we can to create community and bring people together to get those helpful tools.
Wonderful. All right, folks, go ahead and register. They will be back with us in a couple of weeks to sort of recap and to do a reminder. We want you guys to come out to this event. It's always a really, really lovely event. And we thank you, Emily and Renee, for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Bye, you too.
All right. Thank you. All right, folks. So we've got lots going on here in the studio this morning. So I do want to, we're going to switch gears here in a little bit, but let's play a quick little commercial while we're at it.
For years, Chicken has been doing one thing exceptionally well: perfectly wood-roasted chicken. With 2 convenient locations at 7 Mile Beach and Savannah, it is easier than ever to get the flavor K-Man knows and loves. All color, all flavor, all chicken. This is the kind of plate that makes your day better before you even take the first bite. No shortcuts, no trends, just real K-Man flavor that keeps generations coming back. If you know, you know. And if you don't, today's the day to find out.
It should be a sin to make me so hungry in the morning. Oh my gosh, that chicken looks so amazing. I really enjoy their chicken, actually. Delicious. Leg and thigh. I'm a leg and thigh girl. So I love me some chicken, leg and thigh. It's like my Friday treat. Except on Fridays, they have the mac and cheese. So you know how that goes. Honey chill. Delicious. All righty. All right, folks. Phone lines are open, 936-2626. I want to talk about a few other things this morning, including the fact that I told you guys yesterday about that accident on the Esterly Tibbetts Highway on Saturday. And I must say that confirming my suspicions that it was a police chase, the police did issue a statement yesterday that indeed it was a police chase. So now we know. We were kind of suspicious. I bet you that was a police chase. And so now we know that it was a police chase. So, I have a pretty firm position on police chases. And I must tell you that I'm not really in favor of them, especially for the types of roads that we have here in Cayman, which are very, very restricted. And I've done over the years a real degree of research on this. And I can tell you that what a lot of people think about police chases turns out to be untrue. Most police chases are not, you're not chasing people who've committed serious offenses. The vast majority of them are traffic offenses. I think in this instance, they're saying it was a domestic incident. Let me just read the report, because I glanced at it and I thought, okay. So they say that there was this dramatic crash on Saturday night, leading officers in a dangerous chase through central Georgetown. And the suspect had allegedly committed assault and property damage before fleeing the scene prior to police arrival. Okay, let's assume that you reserve police chases for the most serious types of offenses. Yes, an assault is not nice and property damage is not nice, but it's not the most serious type of offenses. And then the funny thing is, when they capture someone like this, it's not even going to be ABH. It'll probably be common assault or something absolutely ridiculous on the lowest rung of offenses. So I'm telling you, the research is there, not just for Cayman, but the US and other jurisdictions, that most police chases are for offenses that are categorized as misdemeanors, summary court offenses. They're not particularly that serious. It's not like he just murdered someone. And then what you do is you risk. So it's a risk-based assessment, right? You risk going from minor offenses to actually having someone engage in a police chase and then potentially take an innocent person's life on our roadways. No bueno. So there's that. And there's a lot of other things involved in it. For example, once a police chase has started, years ago, I actually requested to see, and this was Ivan time, so I'm talking about a really long time ago, because I was almost an innocent victim in it was so ironic, quite frankly, but I was almost an innocent victim in one of these police chases right at the four-way stop there in West Bay. And the only thing really that saved me is I think I must have had a guardian angel sitting on my shoulder that said, pause a little bit longer than you would to turn into Centennial Towers. And I mean seconds. It was just seconds. If I had turned faster, which normally I can see straight ahead, once I had the clearance, I would just turn. Sometimes, I don't even come to a complete stop because I can see there's nothing in front of me. The police chase was happening from behind me. And you can't see that coming. You can't even hear that coming until it's right on top of you. And then they crashed right as they got to the four-way stop within just a couple feet of where I was. And I turned a little bit sooner, but I had someone in the car with me, quite ironically, and I was having a conversation with them. So, your reflexes are slower when you're conversing with people, and you tend to slow down even when you're driving. Your reflexes are just different. And so I was deep in conversation, turned on my indicator, and I stopped, waited a few seconds before actually turning, and waiting those few seconds literally made a difference, because I would have turned, it would have been on my side of the, of the car, and I would have had both the police car and the person that they were chasing slam right into me, and the chances of walking away from something like that are probably slim to none. But ironically, I was an advocate against police chases even before that incident happened. So I'm telling you, we've had people die in this jurisdiction before because police were chasing them. And there's other solutions that you can deploy. And chasing someone just isn't it. The other thing I want to say is, so after that, I requested to see their protocol, written protocol, and they didn't exactly have one. So they rushed quick time to throw something together. And then I remember them telling me that they can't give me a copy of it. This was the days before FY was like really a thing. They told me they couldn't give me a copy of their protocols. I had to come in and sit down and read it in front of them. This was the police back in the day. I was like, what? You want me to come, sit in your office, and read what you claim is your internal policy? You're a government agency. Like, the public should have access to what these so-called policies are. Like, it was just such a ridiculous expectation. But I went in and I sat down and I read it, and I was just like, I got a lot of questions. Who do I need to ask? Oh, well, we don't expect you to have questions, honey Jill. You're just here to read it. I'm just like, oh my God. You can't make this stuff up even on a good day. So anyway, one of the things that they rely on is a lot of discretion, like, the officer can call in and his supervisor can talk to him. I'm like, in the middle of a police chase, you think an officer is going to pick up the phone and call his supervisor and be like, I'm chasing somebody at high speeds through central Georgetown right now. Do you think I should pull back? Because you, as a supervisor sitting at a desk somewhere, is going to know all the factors of what's going on. Rainy Saturday night, super wet roads, still a lot of traffic on the roads that time of night. All these things are just a recipe for disaster. So it's no wonder the car flipped and caught on fire. And we're just lucky that in this instance, nobody died. It should be reserved for the most serious of offenses. And even then, send up the helicopter real quick, deploy, other devices that can stop them. There's only so many streets, even in Georgetown Central, so many routes that they can go. Set up a roadblock. There are things that can be done. We literally have like 2 roads in Cayman, not for nothing. And I want to remind you guys that there have been horrific accidents. There was one on West Bay Road a number of years ago, which involved a police chase, and at least 2 people were killed. And the RCIPS and government were subsequently sued and had to pay money because of that. So, not for nothing, but it has happened before. It has caused loss of life before. And so I just want to remind you all that, it happens. This was back in 2008. A driver in pursuit was charged. And this was a really horrific accident on West Bay Road, kind of close to, I think, where the Grove and stuff is now. And then the family of one of the deceased sued the police, and they had to pay. So it was a 2008 police chase fatality, and the police were found to be negligent and failing to end the pursuit. And so this was the family of Bruce Lee Ebanks, who sued the driver of the vehicle, who sued the police because the driver of the vehicle is being pursued by some police, as well as the Cayman Islands government via the Attorney General over the fatal crash. Mr. Ebanks and 21-year-old, Sydney Miles, who were passengers in the car being driven then by 19-year-old Alex Callan, died in the Friday night smash on West Bay Road. Callan survived and was sentenced to 4 years imprisonment for causing death by dangerous driving. And of course, the judgment was granted and costs in favor of the mother, Ms. Pauline Ebanks, of Mr. Bruce Lee Ebanks. So really, really sad situation, but it's just a reminder that people's lives are lost. Sometimes innocent people, they were not the ones driving the car. And two young men lost their lives in that collision then. Yep. So, accountability, folks. Very, very unfortunate situation. Okay. And so my position really, I'll be honest with you, hasn't changed very much as it relates to these police pursuits, because I still don't see the sense in it. And so, yeah. All right, folks, please don't forget, get registered for the upcoming mental health symposium for our young people. Someone says there's no way to outrun a radio. Let me see. Okay, so let's talk about. I know that lady called earlier and she was anxious to speak to us, and I did tell her to listen out. But you know, there's a lot going on. You know, obviously, we're all curious to hear what her story was about, but we did want to talk about the flag protocol here in the Cayman Islands after a social media post on Sunday went viral. So, folks, I can assure you this is not the first time that we've had this discussion. I suspect it won't be the last time that we're going to have this discussion. But I'm also really, really confused at how many people are misinformed. But let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at that post, because I was actually taken aback by how many people were commenting and going on and on about it. I don't know. Y'all must have, it was a rainy weekend. Maybe you didn't have much to do on Sunday and you were like, oh, we need a pop off subject on CMR, because this flag post took off in a very unexpected way. This is the thing. You never know which topics are going to be highly debated and hot and heavy, and you know. So this was posted at 5:06 p.m. on Sunday evening. It now has almost 500 like responses, likes, whatever you call those. 50% are from followers, 49.9% from non-followers. So everybody was into the mix here. Let me just show you guys the analytics of this post, because like I said, this is the first time I'm actually seeing it, that I'm looking at the actual raw numbers. But I don't know why this triggered so many people, but look at this. Views, 143,195 views, basically a 50-50 split between followers and non-followers. Some people got upset about it and actually unfollowed us because of it. They'll be fine. Seems like it was mostly women, although it's kind of 50-50. That's like a 50-50 split, actually, not a whole lot. So we've got women 45 to 54, almost a 50-50 split again for the 25 to 34-year-olds. And then the older 55 to 64 was a little bit, you know what? That's about 50-50 to me. Yeah. 8.8%, 65 and older were all women. Isn't that interesting? So 980 reactions. This is people like commenting, reacting to it, sharing it, saving it. Why would you save it? Excuse me. I had a little tickle there. So it went viral, to say the least. Certainly exceeded my expectations, but anyway, there you go. I don't know. This touched a nerve with you all, I guess. But let's read what the post was about. Let me just hit the back button here. Okay, let's just go back to it. So this was okay, so this person sent in the following. This evening, while heading over to a friend's house for pizza, we came across something that left us genuinely disappointed. It is deeply troubling to see a long-standing Caymanian institution like Chisholm's Grocery flying a foreign political flag so prominently. So no Cayman Islands flag in sight. This is not about politics abroad. This is about identity, respect, and national pride. When we raised the issue with staff and asked who made the decision, the response was simple: the boss. After 5 years of supporting Chisholm's every single day, we have made the decision that we will not be returning, and Caymanians have choices, and where we spend our money matters. From now on, we will be packing a cooler and taking our business to Hurley's supermarket. Okay. Chisholm is not, Cayman is not for sale, and our national identity should never be treated as an afterthought. CMR is posting this because community voices matter, and so does respect for Cayman. And then it was signed Paul. So Paul reached out with this concern, And, you know, I don't go to Northside that often, so I've never actually made any observations about what flag they were flying there. So I don't know how regular of a thing this is. I'm assuming, and this is just an assumption on my part, that they hoist up the flag and they're probably not removing it every single day. Is Chisholm's a 24/7 grocery store? Are they open 24 hours a day? I don't even know. And I don't even know who the boss is or who owns it. I guess, is it still a Chisholm? I don't even know. You guys have to help me out here. But I do know that the comments, which it's about 400 comments, 396 comments, ran the gamut. And here's one that was very, very popular by John Sutu III. Almost 200 people liked John's comment. So let me just read this one for you. But yeah, there was a number of comments on this. And I thought it was very interesting how people were kind of split. The vast majority of people were like, yes, they agree with Paul's sentiments that our flag should be flown with pride. So John says, I'm a proud American and I visit your beautiful island every winter. Have been an island for 16 entire winters. The Caymanian flag should be flying loud and proud. Our American flag, which is nice to see for me, has no place being displayed prominently while disregarding the Caymanian flag. I'm 100% on your side of this discussion. So, yeah. Okay. So, you know, it is interesting. And I think, you know, obviously a lot of people agreed with that sentiment. It's the Cayman Islands after all. But most importantly, we have, and there was others, like Deb said, as an American that loves the Cayman Islands and the people, I agree that your flag should be flown. You might suggest that if he wants to fly the flag of the USA, it must be lower than the Cayman Islands flag. And I'm actually glad that Deb said that because it's actually the law. So there were others who got in the comment section. Joe made a poor attempt at a joke, said we're buying Greenland and the Caymans. Ugh. Mm-hmm. Some other fool person said, Joe, you can buy the Caymans when you locate it, as we don't know where that is, can also let you know where you let us know when you do find it. So why are you all in the comment section on Cayman Mall Road if you don't know where the Caymans is? Of course, some of these people are just agitators trying to get under your skin, right? But there was a few people. Anita says, I tried hard not to comment, but couldn't resist. I love Chisholm's grocery store. I remember the days when Mr. Harry, formerly RBC manager, and his wife used to be in the store, and they go on about the family. When my family from overseas visited, yada, yada, yada. Glad to see the store is still in the family. Well, I don't know if it is or not. I mean, I don't know who owns it, but I hope so. But she says the pride of Northside for sure. As a longstanding customer, I have two suggestions. The first is to invest in a second flagpole so that the Cayman flag is never absent. And secondly, please train your foreign staff to smile. How about hiring at least one Caymanian for the front? All right. So as it relates, somebody said it's probably for MLK Day. What does that have to do with Cayman? That don't make no sense. Another person said this is a ridiculous post. I shop there every day. I know the owners and they're Caymanian. The employees change their flags periodically. Probably one of the workers who just trying to make the store more professional forgot the flag etiquette. That's a problem. Forgetting, it's not just about our etiquette, but there is actual legislation around the flag protocol. Ironically, this comes up every so often here on the platform because we've had people who have over the years, you know, put our flag upside down. They've done all sorts of things to the flag that just wasn't right. They've flown it in horrific condition. You're not supposed to do that. It's been tattered. It's been, and then sometimes they don't take it up and down. So there's actually a coat of arms, flag, and national song law, 2005 revision. It should be now the act that tells you and governs everything you need to know about the flag. And so I would invite people to educate yourselves. This is really just a lack of not knowing. And you should know. You should know exactly what the legislation says. It's a principal legislation. It doesn't look like they've actually changed the name, which is kind of interesting because all of our laws have now become acts now that we went from the Legislative Assembly to Parliament. But this particular one hasn't been updated on the legislation website. But, like they should have updated the name and stuff like that. They haven't. So I don't know what that's all about, but they should, because it does tell you exactly what it is that you're supposed to do with the Cayman Islands flag, how you're to treat it, there's like an actual order with the hanging of the flag. And so the basic thing with flags is that you're not supposed to our flag should fly first. And so flying the American flag on its own is not just an insult, it's actually totally incorrect. Do you guys remember, like maybe a year or two, when Hunter Walton was on here going on and on about why he was refusing to use the proper flag on land? Instead, he was using the Marine flag, and he tried to justify that, and it didn't really make any sense what he was saying. So I know for a fact that the protocol office reached out to him and they said, son, you need to update your flag. You need to use the correct flag. You can't justify why you are using the Marine flag on land, right? So that didn't make any sense. And the fact that he tried to, he went to everything from, he's a seaman, apparently, because he has gotten on a boat before, makes him a seaman. There's a lot around this. So I would suggest that people learn. It's not just about patriotism, although that's important. You have to learn what you can and can't do. And I think at one point the government was actually even contemplating like penalizing people for using the flag wrong and incorrectly by fining them. So someone says the UK flag is first, then the Cayman flag, every other flag by alphabetical order. No flag should be flown higher than any others. The standard is by flag order. By flag order? What do you mean flag order? So the UK, okay, let me try to understand this. That is a little bit confusing. Fly higher in terms of how far they are on the pole. But you're saying the order should be, I'm assuming, from left to right? Okay, you've confused me. We need some clarification on that because I'm confused. Okay. I'm assuming that lady isn't calling back. So we're going to move on. But I'm going to get this protocol thing set right here. All right, there is an important topic. Okay, let me try and clarify what this is now. No flag should be higher than the other flag. Where is, let me have a look at this law, because it is confusing. So it is the coat of arms, flag, and national song law. Why haven't they updated it, by the way, just out of curiosity, to act, because these things are all supposed to be acts now, and that hasn't been done. It's not in the flag law. Lord Jesus. Can we update the flag law? What's in the flag law? Unauthorized use of the coat of arms or flag an offense. Guidelines. How the flag of the Cayman Islands is to be flown and in respect to persons wishing to use the flag in connection with the trade, blah, 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 blah. So there's nothing in the flag law that says how it should be done. Why not? To me, it seems like a no-brainer that we probably should just include it in there. So yes, I think what it means is that from left to right, the flags have to be in a certain order, UK, Cayman, and then any other flag, but none are to be flown at a higher height than any others. Yes, I got that. And then, so what you're telling me is we have nothing in legislation to say that you can just fly an American flag and that would be okay. Maybe we need to legislate this, just to make it crystal clear, because it is a little bit confusing here. I thought it was actually in the flag law. So what's the point of having a legislation talking about coat of arms, flag, and national song law when you don't have these basic things in there? But I do understand that there's somewhere on some government website where, okay. Flag guidelines and protocol website. Good luck finding that. I did have a link one time, but that link no longer works because they've changed around the website and it wasn't redirected anywhere. So I have no idea. So did you know that Mr. Graham Bartman, designed the version of Cayman's flag that has flown since 1999, along with those of many other British overseas territories? Huh. Okay. So, I think we could do a little bit more with this and just firm it up. Oops. My hot tea plate is about to fall over. So he actually said at the time, some years back, that the government cannot use laws to force people to respect the symbols of a country. Rather, leaders, through their actions, instill respect in the hearts and minds of the people, thus inspiring a reciprocal reverence of the flag and the country for which it stands. And that is priceless. Well, at least we should know how to use it properly and exactly where to find all of those things. And so I say, embed that instead of saying it's on the protocol website. And it's like, okay, let me try to find the Cayman protocol website. Protocol resources came up. Order of precedence. Order of precedence for what? So they have official ceremony notes. So this is what I see under protocol resources. Let me just share it, because if these sites are not properly organized and you can't even find them half the time, it kind of doesn't make much sense. But this is what I found when let me take that comment down. So I see here, let's see how easy it is for us to find. We have official ceremony notes, order of precedence, application for the use of the coat of arms, Cayman Islands coat of arms branding kit, forms of address, precedence of letters after the name, Cayman Islands coat of arms brand guidelines. And then they have a bunch of resources here. Flag etiquette. So national symbols, under national symbols, we have national Cayman Islands flag etiquette. And then we click on there, and that has two little paragraphs about, this talks about the coat of arms, and I don't see anything here about the flag. What the heck? Oh, Now they want you to click on another tab. Okay. I see. Okay, then. The Cayman Islands flag, the official ensign, was adopted in 1959, shortly after the coat of arms was adopted. It gives you a bit of history here. And flag etiquette. I think this flag etiquette should be not just etiquette, but embedded in some kind of legislation or regulations or something. As the country's national ensign, the flag should always be treated with due respect and deference, which any such national symbol deserves. Should that be reverence? Is that the right word? Difference. Respect and difference. Huh. Hold on. I mean, is that I guess that's a weird way. Huh. I'm confused at the use of that word in this sentence. So difference is false coerced respect. I'm confused. My brain's hurting. Why does that sound wrong? Is that supposed to be reverence? Huh. Okay. Somebody help me. Where's Soka this morning with her English skills? You guys see what I'm saying? It says with the due respect and indifference. That doesn't sound right. Okay. Deference. I confused. It's another word for respect. Okay. It says that they can be used interchangeably. Huh. I would have thought reverence would have been respect and okay. All right. Well, I guess if it's technically correct, there we go. This includes not flying it at night or in inclement weather, not allowing it to touch the ground, and using it for any purpose other than a flag. National flags should be raised quickly and lowered slowly. Flags should not be hung or displayed vertically. Faded or damaged flags should not be flown, but instead should be destroyed, preferably by burning. Flags may only be flown at half-mast if there's an official declaration to that effect. The proper flag to fly on land as the Cayman Islands is the blue one as described. However, since this is a British overseas territory, the British flag, which is a Union Jack, also flown as the Union flag, may be flown if desired. If both are flown, the Union Jack should be in the superior position. With when two or more flag staffs are at the same level on a building, the superior one is to the left. When viewing the building from the outside, on a flag staff with a yard arm, the left limb is superior to the right, and the top position is superior to both. Okay. Foreign flags should only be flown with either the Cayman Islands flag or the Union Jack in the superior position. So in this instance with Chisholm's and this flag, this is what it comes down to. They were only flying the American flag. So, interesting. All right. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Question, completely curious.
Mm-hmm.
Flag protocol.
Yes.
Obviously, you're going through our country's flag protocol.
Yes, I'm going to share this.
Is it uniform internationally? Like, could we have a different flag protocol from another country? Or, like, like half-mast protocol and all that stuff? Is it the same right across the world, or each country has their right to their own flag protocol?
It's a good question that I personally don't know the answer to. However, I'm going to rely on my AI assistant. Let's just call her Samantha this morning.
Love it.
So let's just see. The question is, are flag protocols universal, basically?
Yeah. And I'm going to hang up while you search, so I'll be listening. Thank you.
Yes. All right. And we're going to ask it to do deep research, because that's why we pay money for these AI tools. And it's thinking, and it's researching, and it's soon going to give us an answer. I couldn't pay for this type of an assistant. My goodness. So fast. We'll soon have something. Yeah. Someone says it's universal. Okay. Let's see if we can find out. Let's see. I think we got an answer. Okay. The answer to whether flag protocols are universal depends critically on which type of flag protocol you're examining. So, honey child, AI is going to give you the down, the D, and the DL. So it says that the reality is mixed. Maritime signal protocols are remarkably universal, while national flag display protocols vary significantly across jurisdictions. All right. So just hold on one second. We got a couple callers. So the International Code of Signals in Turco represents one of the few genuinely universal flag protocols established by the British Board of Trade in 1855 and officially operational worldwide from January the 1st, 1901. This system provides a standardized means of maritime communication that transcends language barriers. The code employs 26 alphabetical flags, plus a code pennant to convey messages about navigation, safety, emergencies, and operational matters. Commercial vessels exceeding 500 gross tons engaged in international voyages are legally required under SOLAS, which is the Safety of Life at Sea, Chapter 5, to carry complete signal flag sets. I don't think that's really what we talk about. Then they go on to talk more about protocol. The universality of maritime protocols works because their purpose is fundamentally practical, ensuring safety at sea when vessels from different nations encounter each other and may not share a common language. Every maritime professional globally recognizes identical meanings for the same flags for existence. The Alpha A flag signals that a vessel has a diver underwater and other ships. Okay, let's skip that bit. Now we're talking about national flag display protocols, highly variable, was AI Samantha's response. She says national flag protocols, by contrast, are decidedly non-universal. A flag protocol or flag code is formally defined as a set of rules and regulations for the display of flags within a country, including national, subnational, and foreign flags, with enforcement varying dramatically by nation. While certain general guidelines are commonly observed internationally, such as placing the national flag in a position of honor and preventing the flag from touching the ground, the specific rules, their interpretation, and their enforcement differ substantially across jurisdictions. And then they have a whole list here of enforcement mechanisms vary from purely voluntary to criminal penalties. Interesting. So Australia has a non-binding protocols. They have no legislation, just department recommendations. The United Kingdom has a liberal framework post 2012 where they have planning regulations, but it's not criminal and how you hold the flag. handle the flag. United States customary guidelines, mostly non-binding. Title 4 USC suggests burning for disposal, for example. India has a flag code of India 2002. Criminal penalties. Go India. Leave it up to India to criminalize it. India has criminal penalties of up to 3 years imprisonment if you mess with their flag. Lord Jesus. Germany has a criminal code, section 90A, fines are up to 3 years imprisonment, expanded 2020 to include foreign flags. Brazil has law 5700, fines and imprisonment 1 to 2 years for military personnel. Japan has a criminal code of conduct, chapter 4, article 92, fines or penal labor. 2022 amendment added custodial sentences if you don't follow the flag protocol. Finland has very strict statutory laws, including criminal penalties. The flag must be burnt if it touches the ground. Wow, Finland. So they do go into quite a bit more. But here's what it says about international diplomatic standards. At international gatherings and diplomatic events, a more standardized approach emerges. The protocol typically places the host country's flag first and then arranges other national flags in English alphabetical order and displays all flags at the same height in times of peace. The United Nations, as the preeminent example, displays all 193 member state flags in strict alphabetical order outside of headquarters, deliberately avoiding any appearance of hierarchy or preferential treatment. It says, as a further thought, that national flag protocols resist universalization because they are intrinsically tied to national sovereignty, historical context, and cultural identity. So, for example, India's flag code criminalizes disrespect because the flag represents independence and dignity following British colonial rule. Japan's protocols reflect deep cultural traditions of formality and precision, and Brazil's law prohibits military personnel from disrespecting any national symbol as part of institutional discipline. These rules cannot be separated from their national context without losing meaning. So the conclusion, according to Samantha, AI specialist, is that flag protocols are universal only where function, not symbolism, is paramount. The International Code of Signals for Maritime Communication is genuinely universal and consistently enforced because its purpose transcends national borders and directly affects safety at sea. National flag display protocols, however, remain fundamentally local, governed by each nation's constitutional framework, legal tradition, and relationship to its national symbols. While certain principles, position of honor, respectful treatment, proper display appear across jurisdictions, the specific enforcement and mechanisms and penalties vary so substantially that there's truly no universal flag protocol that exists globally. So that was the conclusion. Interesting. Learn something new every day. What do you know? Paul says, good morning, Auntie. Cayman's flag protocol is the same as Bermuda. Probably across the Commonwealth, I would imagine that there is quite a bit of, someone said there's an emergency happening. There's quite a bit of, quite a bit of common ground. All right, this person was calling us saying that there's an emergency. Call 911. That's the emergency number. All right. Okay, we tried calling you back, but if it's a real emergency, y'all knew what to do. 911. Okay. This person said, Samantha AI understood the assignment. We did it. We definitely did a deep dive there. Okie dokie. 9362626 is telephone number. Uh-huh. All right. Uh-huh. All right. So I don't know what that emergency was about, but I guess if you need to call us back, you can. Yes, Celia. Sorry, I was screen sharing earlier. I had taken the picture down. So please, folks, just show a little bit of respect. This is not correct protocol. It's not respectful to our flag to not even have it flown at all. You know, this store is supposedly owned by Caymanian, so I am perplexed and confused at why they would only be flying the American flag. I wasn't supposed to call her back, Isle. She was supposed to call me back. So, I mean, not for nothing, but if you really want to speak on the show, you got to call in. She was calling in WhatsApp, so I don't know if she got busy. So tomorrow, I think we need to talk about a couple things. I'm going to invite some of you. I had another complaint this morning who were messaging me and complaining about the shipments to Jamaica that have not reached there yet. This person says, we need help. Stuff was sent from October. So we will dedicate tomorrow's program to this because I really wish you guys had listened to me. This is one of those instances where it was it's one of those instances where I told people to not trust certain people with your shipments. Y'all did not listen. And so, yeah. I don't know what else to say. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll try to get to the bottom of it. And you know, yeah. I you know, sometimes you guys have got to you've got to understand that I can only save you so much and no more. And quite frankly, I can't save you from yourself. If you make decisions and what do you want me to do? You know, I don't know. Real Deal says Caymanians can really miss the forest for the trees. You're all getting all worked up about what flag is being flown while another flag is taking over your country, which some of you all help, I will add. Well, I guess symbolically, the fact that, you know, you're not even flying the right flag says plenty. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Miss Sandra. This is a young lady.
Yes, morning.
Yes, I'm calling you that I was home on my bed waiting for you to call me. That mean I can
no, I told you to call back. So
no, but I thought you you was gonna call me to say you are ready.
No,
So
no.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I said I would message you to tell you if you got off early. Otherwise, 8:45. But go ahead. What's going on?
Yes, Miss Sandra. Yesterday, she called me. She and Jem called me, and she said to me that, okay, there's a young lady there, a supervisor named Miss Darian and one named Jackie. Remember, Miss all my years in housekeeping, we are a team.
All right, so let's just back it up a couple notches here. You worked at Palm Heights, which is on West Bay Road. How long have you been working there for?
5.5 years.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And have you had any issues in the 5.5 years? And if so, what are those concerns?
Okay, one of my concern is Miss Carla,
And who is this Miss Carla?
the housekeeping manager. Miss Carla. Okay, Miss Carla, we have what when she came there, Miss Sandra, she's trying to get rid of all the older staff them, and she's bringing the old some new staff. Every week she bringing people from Nepal, people from all over the place. So she's trying. So what she did, she get rid of the older one them, and she bring in those people. And what she did now, she and the James, Darren and Jackie, they are charging them. So when they charge them now, for them now to come in, she have to remove us
What?
to
Okay.
space them.
So, what do you mean by they're charging them? What does that mean?
She is doing human trafficking. So
she's
when
having these people pay to be able to come and work here. And what evidence do you have of that? When you say that she's doing human trafficking, that's a very serious allegation. So
because
what makes you say that?
Some of the staff them when they come in, they talk. Because there's this young man that named Colin. When he comes here, he's from Africa. When he came here, he has to give him like half of his paycheck. So the paycheck wasn't enough. So he was, after he paid them, he was like borrowing money. So he speak about it. One and two of them speak about it.
So there's an African guy here who says that, and I'm trying to understand, right? So they're recruiting people to come here, and the people have to pay them in order to come here and have a job. And do you have an idea how they're paying them? How are they getting this money? Most of these people are really poor and desperate for jobs. So I'm trying to figure out how they're getting money to pay for a job to be able to come to Cayman.
Okay, they pay their fare and pay everything. So when they came here now and they work, they give them they pay them out of the salary, out of his salary what they get.
So these people that you say are hiring and doing this, right? Because I mean, let's be honest, somebody couldn't just call me and be like, oh, I have a job for you, but you have to pay me. I'd be like, who on earth are you? So what kind of connections or relationships do they have with these people that they're able to bring them in and then, as you say, allegedly human traffic them? How is that working? How do they know these people? Are they friends of friends or?
They're friends of friends. Because the thing is this, there's this young man, he come from Nepal. So when he come from Nepal bring Nepal and Nepal bring Nepal. And they even, this workplace is not a workplace, because when they come, they first one come, they bring their wife, they bring their children, they bring their niece, they bring their nephew. So Palma is a place of family.
Okay.
Family. So it's a place of family. So you have brother, sister, uncle, and so you know that when one come, one bring their friends, and the friends bring friends. That's how it goes. So they're all friends there. So when they come now, they don't have a space for you. So Carla now try to get you out, because that person is waiting for that space. Okay, so she get rid of the older staff them, and now they fit in. Okay, and then now she even now understand no miss no when the guests them leave your tip, she said the supervisor them in and she collect all of your money, and then now she give you what she feel like. But every week,
she's supposed to be, I mean, I don't know how the tip thing works there specifically, but there is a law that governs how the tip is being distributed. So you're alleging that she's not following the law?
No, ma'am. Because Miss Carla, if you clean a room all week, the guests leave something for you. She said the supervisor in, Darren and Jackie in, to take up the money. Okay? And then no, she collect that no, and then no, she give like a, because I have proof where sometimes it gets maybe $100 because they post it in a group, $100. And when you come down now, you 2 months, 3 months, you don't get more than only $20 out of the tip. And it gets leave that for you. Because all my life of 18 years of housekeeping, the tip is yours because sometimes it gets even told you. And again, Miss Sandra, when you're doing housekeeping or a manager, you don't give guests $500 for $500 on a Christmas to spend. If the guests have a problem, you give him like a one night stay or dinner. This woman give our tip, because I have to say that, voucher for $500. How can I do that? Housekeeping manager. And the thing is, Miss Sandra, she don't have no experience about housekeeping. She never been in housekeeping yet in all her life.
All right, hold
So
on. We have to make sure that we're understanding exactly what it is that you're saying. So you're saying that she's taking your tips and giving it to guests?
500 voucher, Miss Carla, for Christmas.
The voucher to who? Who is the voucher for?
For the guests, them.
But
every guest,
a voucher
Christmas.
is a cash voucher, or is just a voucher to say, you know, you can spend this at our facility?
Right. Where that don't work. And a matter of fact, every hotel give their staff a Christmas party. We don't get any. And a matter of fact, she's gonna say to us that we can't do her anything. We can't touch her.
All right, hold on. I'm not even clear about the voucher situation, so I need to understand this. So she gives a gift voucher to staff or to the guests staying at the hotel?
The guests that stayed at the hotel.
The guests that are staying at the hotel. And you're saying that comes from your gratuities?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, exactly, Miss Carla. 500 voucher. Where do you go now into a hotel and you give a guest for Christmas 500 voucher, and it's not one guest, it's more than one guest.
Hold on, $500 voucher for what? What's the voucher for? It's cash. It's what?
No, a voucher to spend.
To spend.
To spend in a hotel. Where do you go? That we should be the one that get the voucher because we are the one that work in there. So because Miss Carla, she
okay,
nothing.
But I mean that doesn't. Okay, but to be fair, that doesn't necessarily mean she's taking that from your gratuities. I mean, where?
Yes, Miss. Yes, because our gratuity is way down for this Christmas. Way down. When every hotel is getting
but that, I mean, let me be clear, because this is where you have to really kind of filter out certain things. Your gratuities might be down for other reasons, but you don't know that that's exactly what she's doing with the gratuities unless you have some proof of that, right? So you're assuming that that's why your gratuities is down because she decided to give guest vouchers instead of doing stuff for staff. So I don't know where in her budget she's getting that money from. So that might be a question, but you can't really say that that's directly coming from gratuities. All you can say is your gratuities are less than, they have been in the past 5 years. But hasn't Carla been working there since 2019?
But only at the front desk, Miss Carla, not in housekeeping. And since she come into housekeeping, Miss Sandra, our life will be a living hell.
So
because she don't know nothing about housekeeping.
How long has she been in housekeeping then?
I think from last year, something like that. I don't remember, from last year and from over. A matter of fact, Miss Carla, for the first time she entered in housekeeping, our remarks is the money that you're gonna make, I'm not gonna make it again. And it's really true because I've been there 5 years, and she's the third person we have as manager was very good. She stepped in, Miss Carla, Miss Sandra, our life is a living hell because number one, she's from Dominica. The first thing, she don't love black. And since she been there, our life is a living hell. She don't know nothing about housekeeping. If you sit down, she give you a letter. If you're going by the lunchroom, she give you a letter. If you talk to your housekeeper, then she give you a letter. And she's saying to us that when we go to the guest room, we must
Mhm.
not say housekeeping. How can you enter a guest room, Miss Carla, and you don't knock and say housekeeping?
So what
Where this come from?
what are you supposed to say?
She said must knock 3 times and enter. And then when we go in, how much you going to say housekeeping? The guest has to know who you is before you comes in. She don't know nothing about housekeeping. This woman is totally out of reach, out of line. I have a housekeeper right now, Miss Carla. Miss Sandra. She come this gentleman because he's here with us from over here. So she's trying to get rid of the older staff. Then this guy come one morning and his phone wasn't working, and he said to him, Miss Carla, my phone is not working. Give me the phone from the minibar because the minibar finish at night. You ain't tell the young man said, if you don't have a phone, you can go home.
Mm.
And he sent him home. How do things like that to work? This young man again, his phone out of charge, and he went to the room. The room is not coming in until the next day. It's an empty room. And he went to charge his phone, and Carla realized that, and give him 1 week off, right in the Christmas. He tried to spite us as the older staff and the newer one and walk on us. Because yes. So because it's right now it's 5 housekeeper leave back right now. And she's gonna try everything because I was the 6th one. Everyone she come there and see, she tried to get rid of them to space in. Every day Miss Sandra
So
under
I want you to calm down a little bit because I think we're trying to understand the different types of complaints, and you're losing the audience if you're overly emotional about it. So I understand.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Yes,
sorry about that.
because we want to get to the facts of what you're saying. So you're saying that Carla, who's been there since 2019, you didn't have any direct issues with her because she wasn't in charge of housekeeping until about last year.
Right.
So when she became in charge of housekeeping, then you started to have issues. And I'm trying to understand the nature of the issues that you're saying. So one of the issues you're saying is that she's taking your gratuities.
Everything from us. She take everything from us. And a matter of fact, she in
What do
charge
you,
of the
I need,
whole
I need to
farmers.
be, let's be very, very specific. When you say everything from us, what do you mean by that? What is everything?
Okay. She's taking away our money from us, our tips.
Okay. What other money? What other money other than tips and your salary? That's only 2 avenues of money that you get, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're getting paid your salary properly.
Not properly, because what she did, Miss Sandra, the one them that comes in because they pay her, she give them more hours, and the one us, the one them that is been there for so long, because I work from 8 to 5 o'clock. And some people, Miss Sandra, they are there from 6 o'clock, and I even leave them there because those are the one from Africa, Nepal, and all over the world.
Okay. So you're saying that you're willing to work more hours, but when Carla is in charge of doing the scheduling?
Yeah, no, she supervised Darren, and Darren is the one sometimes that sabotages, because before Carla come there, ma'am, I usually work from 8 to 8 till 8 o'clock till 8 in the night. Because why I say that? Okay, I usually do turn down in the night, right? And Carla is gonna look at me and tell me that I am too old to do turn down. A matter of fact, she don't ask you, she's saying it to you. So from that day to the day now, I don't do turn down. I work from 8 till 5. Sometimes she put it from 8:30 till 4 o'clock, 4:30. And there's a staff them that Nepal and those people, they work more hours more than us. Sometimes they come see them and we leave them there.
All right. So your allegation is that the hours are being, dispersed in an unfair manner.
Right.
And it's because you're coming to work. Now, is it possible that these people are there, but they're not clocked in? You know for a fact that they've clocked in?
They clock in. They clock in. They clock in. They clock in. But remember, I told you she's a racist. She don't love black. And she
And what
bringing these
makes
people
you
coming.
all right? What makes you? Why are you of the opinion that she doesn't like black people?
The
I
country
mean,
where she come from.
well, that's not enough because the Dominican Republic has black people.
And no. And the thing is, she told us. And
Okay, so this is where we need to separate fact from opinion. She told you she doesn't like black people. When did she say that?
And again, Miss Carla, and again, she said that she loves to work with those
No,
people that work with Jamaican.
Let's hold on.
Okay.
Let's try to flush this out. When did she say that she does not like black people?
Couple of months ago, she told me she don't love black people.
How did that conversation come about, and how did she say that? She just walked up to you and said she doesn't like black people?
Right.
That doesn't sound right. Nobody's gonna just walk up to you and say, I don't like black people. Was there a conversation? Was there what was the conversation?
Because the thing is this, I think one day she there's a scupper that needs to go inside the door, but that morning I did not put in the scupper. She called me and she said, "Oh, you give so much trouble. I don't love black people. I don't love black people."
So there was a what that was supposed to go in the door? What, I didn't quite understand that.
Like a little scupper, like what you use and catch the door. You catch the door, the scupper.
Okay.
So everybody I saw push the door, but when they come on to me, it's different from her. And she called me into meeting, and I explained to her, I said I was busy. She said, "Oh, that's why I don't love black people." And she even said that she said she don't love Jamaican, Caymanian, and she don't love Spanish, Nicaragua, because we don't hear. That's why she mostly hired if they Spanish them, and because she knows she can walk on them.
She said she don't like Spanish people because of what? They don't hear?
No, that's Spanish. She don't love Jamaican, she don't love Caymanian, and she don't love the one Nicaragua because she can't use us like how she used the African them, the Nepal and the Filipino them, because where they come from, don't come from nowhere here. So she can spin them round and do them anything. And we know some things when we see those girls do. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna go up in the garbage bin and wash out garbage bin. I'm not gonna.
So she prefers certain nationalities. It's not about being black or white, because you even said that there's an African there. I mean, I'm assuming he's a black African.
Every mixture there, African. Everyone is
so there. Okay, so let's assume that it's not the race; it's the nationality that she seems to have a problem with.
I think so.
Okay,
because
but you actually said that she has said to you
exactly. She said to me because she don't like me. Because I'm a Caymanian, she don't like me because I always stand up to her and stand up to her. She don't like me because I'm a Caymanian, and she can't get to push me around, and she can't get to use me.
Okay. All right. So
you know that I'm Caymanian. She's not gonna because I'm a Caymanian.
I need you to slow down a little bit, because I think that people are listening to the show right now, and in order for people to understand, we have 400 people listening. In order for people to understand, we need to clarify certain things, right? So you are saying that to your face during the course of a conversation that Carla has said to you that she does not like Caymanians, Jamaicans, and people from Nicaragua. Well, how many people do y'all have from Nicaragua even working there?
Not plenty of us.
Okay.
But every day you see one African, you see one Filipino, you see one Spanish, you see every different country except Caymanian, Jamaican, or Nicaragua. Three of us are not there. Every morning you come, sometimes you see 2 African, because since week you see 2 African, you see Filipino, You see, Nepal, you see every nation except these 3 nations. Carla and Darren too, because Darren is in into 2. Darren is the one.
And
which day she just last week there is a young lady come there from Africa. She said she's a supervisor. She's one of them too. Because a matter of fact, what am I saying? All my years of housekeeping, right? We are a team. And if I do something inside the room and supervisor come inside there and see a little box inside the bin. Come on, you could have taken it out. She called me and said, there's a box inside the garbage bin. So I told her that I am coming. She said, okay, I do it already. When we here for the shot yesterday, I see Miss Carla call me and take a picture of it. And because I went there and she told me, said that's okay, right? And then after fact now, because she's one of them that brings some people come there too, and she take them. Last year, Darren, she bring people, and she took them. Right now, housekeeping is overbooked, so I'm trying to know that she has to get rid of us to space them. That is what's going on in Palm Heights. That is what's going on in Palm Heights. So all the staff them are removing one by one to space the Nepal them, the African them.
All right. So okay. So if she's removing people, then you obviously are going to tell me who else has been removed other than yourself. So who else? Let's talk about, because there has to be a pattern of behavior here. Who else has been terminated or has lost their job?
Okay, there's a young lady named Shanique. Shanique lost her job. Keisha.
And when were these?
Danisha.
These were in the last year, since Carla has been involved in housekeeping.
Right, I call her, and she come. All these ones
stick with the list. Who else? Who else? And these are people who are either Caymanians, Jamaicans, or from Nicaragua, is what you're telling me.
Nicaragua.
These are all people from Nicaragua.
Yeah, and Shanique is from Jamaica.
Okay. Why did y'all have so many people from Nicaragua working there? I mean, that's an interesting question, but I'm just asking. You know. So she's changing out one nationality for the other. So you've listed 2 people or 3 people. Who else has left?
Well, we have 5 more that leave.
And the last year you've had 5.
No. What am I saying? Now we have 5 leave. 1 Caymanian.
No, but how many people have left Palm Heights in housekeeping in the last year since Carla has been there? How many people no longer work there? Yes.
Shanique. You have Keisha. You have Danisha. And can't remember their names. But there's so many of them.
No. Listen to me now.
Okay, I mean,
I'm
trying
to
remember them.
I need you to be, even if you can't remember their names, I need you to say, okay, these are 3 that I remember, but there's 4 other young ladies or young men that have left, but I can't remember their names. I need you to be very, very specific.
Okay.
How many people since Carla has taken over, in your opinion, you can recall, how many people have left Palm Heights for just housekeeping alone?
Well, for right now, I just remember only 3 right now, their name, because we are so close.
And it was 3 out of how many people did you have in housekeeping? The housekeeping staff there is how big is the team?
Don't remember. I'll be honest with you, I never recall. But now it's so much load. It's so many now. I never recall. I never recall.
All right. So, you know what? Listen, I'm trying to help you out here because people are listening to this.
I know.
And they are confused because you can't jump to a conclusion if you only have 1 or 2 examples. Because then people say, you know, that doesn't make any sense. If only 1 or 2 people have left, that is not, you can't then say that she doesn't like people, generally speaking, and that there's huge turnover. So when we talk about there being a turnover, we need to understand exactly what that means. So 3 people have left in the last year. That might not even be an extraordinary amount of people as it relates to, you know, hotels. People come and go all the time.
No. You know, if I didn't know you was going to ask me that question personally, I will remember their names because I've seen them. I know their faces. But I remember,
Okay.
but I know Shanique, Danisha, Keisha. I don't remember their names.
So you're saying there are other people you just can't remember?
Yes, ma'am. See, right now, some of them are calling me now on the line, but I can't respond to them because they're speaking to me.
Yeah, I mean, tell them to WhatsApp us, because if they're going to make if they're going to try to help you and make these allegations, 324-1612, WhatsApp me a list of names, right? Sometimes this is why you don't really have a conversation when you're upset, because then you can't even remember, you know, you've just been terminated, you're all upset about that, but you can't even remember what's happening here. So we gotta try to figure out what's really going on with this whole Carla, because 1 minute you say it's Carla, next minute you say, no, the problem is Daryl. Is it Daryl or is it Carla?
Carla, ma'am. Carla is the problem because remember, you know.
Was Daryl there before Carla?
They work on it, Carla.
Was he there before Carla?
Come again, ma'am?
Was the Daryl guy there before Carla?
This a young lady, no. No. When Carla come there, Carla hire these young ladies.
No, well, who's Daryl? That sounds like a guy. That doesn't sound like a young lady.
No, Darren, that's a young lady.
Darren is a woman.
Yes, and Jackie is a woman. She's from Africa. Darren is from Nepal. So she's there now with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend bring her friend, and her friend bring her friend, and friend and friend and friend. That's how it goes. That's how it goes down by Palmites. One bring one, and one bring the one, and one bring everybody come there. So they're pushing us out.
All right. So after 5 years, have you ever been written up for anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How many times have you been written up at Palm Heights?
5 years, 5 times, because you know why? Because I'm a Caymanian and she knows she cannot get me out. She trying every way to frustrate me.
So Carla's going to say that she's a professional and that she has very high standards because as a boutique hotel, Palm Heights have a particular set of standards that they're operating by. And if you're not meeting the standards, that's why you've been written up 5 times. Let me ask you a question. The 5 times that you've been written up, were you written up the 5 times during just in the last year with Carla or before Carla?
With Carla.
So 5 times since Carla has taken over.
Can I say something to you, Miss?
No, but I need to understand this now because this is important. Okay. Were you ever written up before Carla became head of housekeeping?
Never.
So you've been there for 5 years. You were never written up by the previous head of housekeeping.
Never.
So now you've been written up by Carla 5 times in basically the last year.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I can tell you everything, what's happened.
But I mean, we need to understand it in a logical way. That's the problem. And you can tell me stuff, but if it's all over the place,
yes, ma'am.
The people are saying that they don't understand what's going on. So we need to make sure that we're kind of breaking this down.
Never, ma'am. Never until when Miss Carla came there. Never, ma'am. Never. Until when Miss Carla came there.
All right. So we have another person who's joining the conversation. They say Denisha, Keisha, the Philippine, Shanique, Filipina, Kanisha, Paula. This is confusing. Who's Philippine and Filipina?
No. Shanique is from Jamaica. Keisha is here. And Darren and Danisha. They 2 are from Nicaragua.
And these are people who have left?
She fired them.
Okay.
So you can call them and they will join me.
Well, maybe they just need to call in. So okay, so you've been written up 5 times by Carla. What sort of stuff is she writing you up for?
Okay. Number 1, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let me explain myself. There's a young man that come there from Africa. All my life, I work upon myself. I work at 5th floor. There's a young man that come here from Africa named Colin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all my life in housekeeping, we cover for each other. And when this young man come up there by 5th floor, I try to teach him everything, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And what I taught in housekeeping, once the guests them do not complain, that's okay. Okay. This young man went to Carla and tell Carla,
and I mean, Carla might say, their standards are not, they don't wait for a guest complaint. They have standards, and maybe the guests aren't complaining to you, but they still have standards in place of how you're supposed to turn down a room and anything like that.
Yes,
so have you had, before Carla, have you had any other housekeeping supervisor that actually came to you and said, we have a problem with the way that you're doing things or the quality of your work?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Because everywhere I work, because I even work at Margaritaville and I was self-inspection. But Carla now, I don't know if the people are going to believe me. People ever look on you, Miss Sandra, and just do not like you? So everything you did is a problem to them?
Mm.
That's Carla. Because I went into rooms, Miss Sandra, and I see things is not right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I fix it. People comes in the room, supervisor come into room and fix things for people. When you come on to me, I'm different.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to go. You get me? Because in my understanding, supervisors are supposed to cover for each other because you're a team.
Mm-hmm.
But they only cover for some people and leave some out because they
Mm-hmm.
are their own nationality, and some of them they bring their own people. So you know that they're not gonna say nothing. You know that, Miss Sandra, because they are their own people.
Well, I mean, we can't make any assumptions here. This is why I need you to give me examples, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so that's why we got to talk about, we can't just make broad assumptions and paint everybody with the same brush. But what you're saying is that when people are here and they're from Nepal or wherever they're from, the Philippines, they're bringing in their family members and their friends, that those family members and friends are getting a pass on the things that they're doing that might not even be up to standard, doing wrong, in order to keep them. I'm asking for clarification. I'm not saying this is a fact. This is what I'm asking you to clarify.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that's what you're saying is happening.
Yes, ma'am. Because in housekeeping and in Palmex, there are families. And because I don't have any families there or nobody there, and they want to move me to put in their family or their friends coming in. Because I Shanique, when I asked Shanique what is the problem why they fire him, Shanique said, the caller said there are too much housekeeper. And by the time they fire Shanique, 3 of them come in from Indian. 3 of them come in 1 weeks after. Then what am I saying? If we are full, why are you bringing in people? And you fire the Shanique as the older staff. And by the time you fire Shanique and those 2, next week other two come. Even last week, 1 guy come from Africa. They keep on coming in. If you say we have too much staff, why firing the older staff and bringing in people? And you say we are full. Every day, Miss Sandra, people coming in. And there's no way, I don't understand, Miss Sandra, because you say we full. And you fire the young lady. And you fire her, you're bringing so many people coming in housekeeping. Right now, housekeeping is overbooked. So she has to get rid of me because maybe she have 1 more day, no standby there now to come in.
So the reason why you're saying that she has terminated you is because she told you there's too many people in housekeeping?
she don't, you know, she said to Sandra, she said to Shanique, because when she fired Shanique last year, I asked Shanique, what's the problem? Why
Mhm.
they fire her? Because she's one of the older staff with me. She says, call her, tell her that she have too much staff. So I'm saying that if you say that to Shanique, say you fire because you have too much staff. Why taking on so many people? Because from Shanique leave, there's so many people coming in. Every day, Miss Sandra, you see people coming in from Nepal, coming from Africa, coming from all but the place. And you say it too much.
So give us some of the examples, the 5 times that you've been written up. What was provided in the write-up? What was she writing you up for?
The first time she write me up for the normally when you have so many rooms and your time come, you leave back one of them, right? So I leave back one of the room, but I do the bed and do everything, right? So the next person come on, he take over the room. That was Colin the day. Colin take over the room, and because according to what he's saying, they're saying that when they come there, the 5th floor, I have the best floor. Okay? So when I come now, he comes and he take over the room, and the room wasn't 100% because all the guys who just clean up the room, he go and he tell Carla. Carla write me up for the room, said I should finish the room. Whereof if we get in late, we do not finish the room. We leave the room until if we work the next day, we do it, or the person that come in next day, they clean the room. So that's the first time she write me up. The second time,
So hold on.
she
So she wrote you up because you didn't finish cleaning a room?
right.
Why didn't you finish cleaning the room though? I mean, most people would
Because
say,
my time was up.
what do you mean
And
your
the room
time is
wasn't
up? So you don't do a room until it's done?
once the time is up and the room is not on arrival, you leave it for the next day. Or if you're not working the next day, somebody take it over.
So
You
this
understand?
is the policy at Palm Heights, that if you're cleaning and your shift ends at 4 o'clock, you need to leave at 4 o'clock, whether the room that you're working on is done or not.
Right, because Miss Carla is not going to give her no more hours. Some of us, she's not going to give some of us the hours to finish. Normally, the other reserve manager them, they would give her that time to finish up the room completely. Okay, when you come on the caller, she's not going to give her that time. You have to go, leave the room. When the time comes, you have to leave the room.
That's if that's management's position, that doesn't even make any sense. That's stupid. But she has told you guys this, is what you're telling me, that when your shift ends, you have to leave, whether the room is completed or not.
Right. Because even in turn down, Miss Sandra, in turn down, when I always do turn down, when we start turn down, we start right through. These guys that do turn down, when they catch 4 o'clock, they have to clock out 4 o'clock, and they know they have to go on the road. I don't know where they go until 7 o'clock. They come back and clock into the turn down. Where you see that? All my life at Palmas, I never see that. I ever see that yet. You start in the morning and you get a break and you do turn down straight. That's what I usually do. Since Carla come there, the guys them and the woman have to clock out 4 o'clock. Sometime even see them on the road. Him at first time, I ask them, I say, guys, you are not on the clock. If anything wrong with you, no, Palmas do not respond to you. Speak to Carla, make you know that it cannot work like that. You need to be in the compound and finish up in a room. But because she don't know nothing about housekeeping, nothing, they give her housekeeping because turn down, when you finish 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, you start turn down. The guys have to clock out 4 o'clock. Once you know about the place, till 7 o'clock, they clock in back. Where do you go now and see nothing like that? I see that in housekeeping. First ever see that. Because you don't know nothing about housekeeping. Number one, again, our board is in the morning. She's asking the guests them what time they want service. You have all 5 rooms, 3 rooms for 9 o'clock, 3 rooms for 1 o'clock. Sometimes when I went in the room for 1 o'clock, the guests them are just coming. Whereof in housekeeping, you go in, your housekeeping start 9 o'clock. You knock, and the guests will say, you can come back. Carla, you have to go to 9 o'clock or 9:30. Sometimes I have 4 room for 9 o'clock, 4 room for 1 o'clock, 4 room for 12 o'clock. How can I do so much room one time? So? You tell me now.
All right.
And
So
then
I do have some other people, to be fair. I do have some other people who are trying to explain some of this, right? And so one person says, so we have like 52 staff and only 9 to 10 are old staff. All the rest is replaced with new people. So one got fired. Here's an example. If one got fired, they would bring a Nepalese or African to replace them. But I'm trying to understand, they're saying about 50 to 52 staff and only 9 of the old staff are remaining. Is this across the entire hotel? I mean, obviously you don't have 50 people just in housekeeping. So they go on to say that there's also these new staff from Nepal and Africa. They're friends,
thank you very much.
family, husband and wife. There are 5 supervisors, 3 ladies and 3 guys. And of those 5, 4 are husband and wife couples. So this is where you need to provide the details so that people can understand, because I'm trying to get the listeners, and the listeners are saying they're very confused. So I'm just trying to make sure that the listeners, one person says the story is missing details. It's these types of details that we need to understand. And that's what I'm saying. Just calm down so that what you're saying can be properly understood. Right?
Thank you very much. Okay.
Another person says they were trying to get a list of people. There are more missing. They're looking for the names, plus the people from front desk, which is another group, more than 20 persons in 1 month. So that is significant. That's the kind of information that we need.
Thank you.
Right? So we need...
Pull that back up.
So we need, when you say more than 20 people in a month have gone, and then you're replacing them with people from just 1 or 2 countries, that matters. So that is why we need to understand exactly what is happening here. So this other person said she fired Joyce for something stupid because her people from Nepal do some crap and she's been there for 6 years, whether she was a supervisor or not. All the supervisors are from Nepal, the Philippines, or India, and that's the difference. She has her racist people. There are 52 of us and only 9 of us are old people and the rest are from Nepal, all family, spouses, cousins. That's why the blame falls on Miss Joyce. Well, who the heck is Miss Joyce?
That's me.
Oh, you? Okay. So she didn't have a chance to defend herself because it's all a plot to get rid of her. Who will support her? Only that other woman who'll soon kick her out too. She doesn't like people with connections in the department. There's only 2 of us left. Unbelievable. Just Radine and somebody else. So you have 5 people. You have 5 people that are there, and 4 of them are husbands and wives.
I told them, Miss Sandra, that Palmette is family. Family.
So
I told you
it might be nepotism. I'm not sure if it's racism per se, but it might be more nepotism, where they're just helping out the people that they know, and helping out each other. Okay, so we're gonna get a more comprehensive list of names, and I'm aware that some of the people can't call into the program, because they are still working there. So obviously,
right.
All right. So one of the issues then you say is with the overtime, or that not even overtime, but just hours that you're getting. So on average, how many hours per week are you working at Palm Heights? Like, what is your weekly hourly work?
First, when I get to Palm Heights, we're supposed to make 90 hours. Now with Carla, we don't make 90 hours. Some of us.
90 hours for the month.
I think for the week, something like that.
90 hours for the week is a lot. So the average work week, and I think this is probably where they're running into some issues. The average work week is like 40, 45 hours. I think by law, that's what you have to work if you're working full time. So you're saying that before Carla, before a year ago, on average, you guys are working 90 hours per week?
Exactly, from 8 to 8, because
So,
we
you
do
know,
morning shift and turn down.
right. So there's some people who might say that's a lot of hours. Are you guys being efficient? Are you being fatigued? Are you doing a good job working a straight 12 hours on your feet, going from room to room? How would you respond to people who say, Miss, 12 hours is a lot of time to be working?
Okay. Our shift is like this here. Before Miss Carla come there,
Mhm.
all of us decided our mind, say we're gonna do 3, like I did Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 8 till 8. Thursday and Friday and Saturday, your normal shift. We share the turn down. Okay, we share it. But since Miss Carla come there now, she said, me and Miss Radine too old. We cannot do turn down. Mark
And
when we never.
what does turn down entail? Why would she say you're too
Okay,
old? What does that entail?
turn down is like this. We do morning shift, and after we do morning shift, now in the evening, now we do turn down. We go to the guest now in the night, and we turn down their room. We give them water, we freshen up their room, and something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss Carla saying that me and Miss Redding too old. The one them that did it, she don't do it like that. She make them finish. She makes them finish their morning shift 4 o'clock, and then now clock them out, and they have to come at 7 o'clock. Where that wasn't happening. That wasn't happening at Palmites. And since Carla come there, because she don't know nothing about housekeeping, Miss Sandra, I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes we work from first. Sometimes Miss
So
Carla,
let me hold on. So you say that. Let me just understand that last bit that you said about clocking in and out, right? So you're saying that she makes you come and do the turn down or turn up or whatever it's called in the morning, and then you clock out and leave?
No. Morning shift and morning shift, and some of the guys they not know that doing turn down shift. They have to go home who live near, and they come back 7 o'clock and clock in and do like from 7 till 8 or 7 till 9, 10 o'clock. That's the turn down shift. Whereof that wasn't happening in Palmites, but because you do not know nothing about housekeeping. And one thing again to Miss Sandra, in housekeeping we learn, we help each other. Normally, Miss Sandra, if I see you struggling as a housekeeper, I would go and help you.
Mm-hmm.
Since she come, if they ever help anybody, she write you up. What is this? What kind of housekeeping we are doing? We are a team. We need to help each other. You cannot help anybody. For me, I learn to help each other. And if I see Miss Redding struggling and I go to help her, she call me and she write me up. How is that? We are a team, Miss Sandra. Housekeeper help each other. First time, Miss Sandra, before Miss Carla come there and we finish, like say I finish, I would take my cart and take 2 rooms for other sisters, and so we work, and all of us finish like one time. No matter how you're struggling, Miss Sandra, you cannot go. Nobody, Miss Carla, call you and write you up. Nobody you cannot help. You have to be struggling until you finish. What can become? Sometimes you come to work and you don't feel good. You're not gonna somebody spread a bed for you. And if we go and help, she write me up, Miss Sandra. What kind of housekeeping manager this is? What kind? She do nothing but housekeeping.
So
No
you
clue.
say that she writes you up for trying to help each other.
That I'm trying to say to you, Miss Sandra. She writes you up. You can't help each other. You can't.
I mean, I'm
So
not
it is
really
tricky.
I'm not really any housekeeping experts, but how does this go? When you're on the shift and you're working, you're 8 to 5 or whatever. Do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have a certain number of rooms that they say, okay, during this time, here's your list of rooms that you have to get done and you have to do them by yourself?
Yes, ma'am. But before Miss Carla came there,
Uh-huh.
there was this man named Mr. Jacob. He was our housekeeping manager.
Mhm.
He said back home where we come from, it's 2 people work. So when Mr. Jacob come, there's 2 of us do housekeeping because he said he make it easier for us. Understand me? So you will have 7 rooms and it's 2 of you. One may spread the bed and one do the bathroom. Miss Carla come, Miss Carla change it. So we have 7 rooms, doing 7 rooms for the whole day. With checkout arrival. You get me? So Miss Sandra, so if you finish now and you see like your friend or somebody struggling and you go and help them, it's a problem to Miss Carla. She called and she write you up. That way do with since week. So maybe that is one of them where she find me because she say I'm not hearing because I learned from my housekeeping manager because Miss Redding is like me. thing is this, Miss, me and Miss Redding share third floor, and I comes in and I don't see her. So you know, sometimes maybe anything can happen to you in a room. So I went to look for her. So when I go and look for her in the room now, said to Miss Color come and she see me in the room, and she was so upset. Come on, anything can happen to her, skip inside the room. Man, she's so close. And we are coming from Margarita Vale. We are the oldest staff, Miss Sandra. And if I saw her struggling, I'm going to help her. And if she look and she don't see me, she's going to come and help me. And if we do that to each other, Miss Color have a problem. She write me up. She said, I'm not hearing. Because I cannot sit back, Miss Sandra, and see you struggling and don't help you. I'm not going to do that because I used to it. That's, you understand, as a team, you're a team. We need to help each other. She have a problem with that. Miss Sandra asks any hotel. That's how it works. You help your team. You help Miss Sandra. You help. This woman don't know nothing about housekeeping. And they put her in charge of us. And she's making her life a living hell. Because every footstep that we made, everything we do, she writes us up.
Okay. So if she is, would you be surprised if she is telling people that her standards are different? She has very high standards, and unfortunately, you guys were hired, and so you're not up to her standards. What would you respond if she said that to you? What would you say to her?
Ma'am, I would say to her, say Miss Carla, you need to go because you don't know nothing about Cayman law. You need to go.
I mean, this isn't really a Cayman law question. This is a question of standards. So not exactly, because you just mentioned Cayman law, and I'm not saying anything about the law per se.
Okay.
I'm saying, I would say if she makes the criticism that the reason that you are getting written up is because she comes with all this experience and from a background where, you know, she has a lot of fancy hotels that she works at. She knows what the standards are, et cetera, et cetera. And the fact that you guys are getting written up is proof. Let's just say that this is what she's going to say for argument's sake. It is proof that you guys are not doing a good and effective job. How would you respond to that specific criticism?
Miss Sandra, she cannot say that, Miss Sandra, because when Miss Collar come here, Miss Collar never worked in housekeeping in her life. She's just assuming now, she's just teaching, she's just coming now, Miss Sandra, and taking over what she do not know nothing about housekeeping. All her life, she never worked in housekeeping yet. Never. So our standard, Miss
So
Sandra,
one person says it's 90 hours in 2 weeks, not 1 week.
Thank you very much.
No, but this is where you're confusing people. Because like I said, when you said 90 hours, I'm like, that's a lot of hours for the week. And you could see where somebody would say that you're, people would say that you're fatigued, but no, I need you. Listen to me.
Okay, I understand you. Yeah, I understand you.
I'm not so sure that you do, because let me be very, very clear. Okay. There are people who are listening to this show right now.
I know, Ms. Sandra, I know. Who
are connected to this situation, even connected to the management and potentially solving this problem. But if you're not getting the information right, you are undermining yourself and what it is that you're saying here to me this morning.
Okay, ma'am.
And that's what I don't want you to do. If you have a legitimate complaint, we need to get to the bottom of the complaint.
Okay,
but we can't get to the bottom of the complaint if you're giving me misinformation and you're not even realizing it yourself. So somebody, you say you got your backup, but this is somebody else saying, no, it's not 90. Don't laugh, because this is a very serious situation.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, if they're saying, no, it's not 90 per week, it's 90 over 2 weeks. So that's still an average of 45 per week, which is what I was saying earlier.
Okay, ma'am.
So you're still only working about 45 hours per week. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's 90. You guys get paid bi-monthly every 2 weeks? Is that how you get paid?
every 2 weeks.
All right. So for every pay period, you were getting about 90 hours previously.
Not when Miss Carla come there. Everything changed.
Listen, previously, meaning before Carla,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
were getting about
Yes,
90
ma'am.
hours.
Yes, ma'am.
Now she has cut it down to what? Somebody says about 64 hours?
Yes, ma'am. And sometimes less too.
So you're not working 40 to 45 hours per week, which is
No, ma'am.
now that is where the law comes in, because I'm sure your contracts, what does your contract say about how much you're supposed to be working? If you're not working 45 hours per week, then technically you're not working a full week per the labor law. Now that becomes a problem. But this is where you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
got to be specific and make sure you get it right. That's not per week, that is bi-weekly. I mean, bi-monthly, which is twice a month. So for your
And-
pay period, you're saying that you've lost probably about anywhere from, let's see, 90, 60, about 30 hours off of your 2-week period.
Yes, ma'am. Since she come there. And Miss Sandra, our vacation pay too. Whenever I work in any hotel, our vacation pay, we get our vacation, all of our money when we even go in or when we come back.
Yeah, because here's the problem, right? This is a problem that you guys are going to have. Now, I know a lot of you, you have Cayman status. You say you're a Caymanian. I'm assuming that means you have a Cayman status now. There are others there from Nicaragua, whatever. If you guys cannot articulate well and put this together in like a proper, this I'm telling you guys, write it down. Sometimes if you write it down, that helps. If you can't put it together in a cohesive, coherent way in terms of what your complaints are, no one is going to take your complaint seriously, especially when you're up against Carla. And I would bet the farm that Carla probably speaks really, really well. And she's able to sound good and to articulate herself around these people. So automatically she is going to be more believable just for that reason alone. So this is where you guys need to be careful. I'm not saying that your stories are not accurate, but you need to make sure you get your facts. You don't let your emotions overtake you when you're speaking, even now. You speak correctly, because you've had to correct a few things like, okay, no, that's not what I meant. You got to make sure the facts are correct from the onset.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's why a lot of times it's not a good idea to engage in this type of conversation when you're really upset, because your brain isn't even working. All right. So
true,
someone else has said that it's 90 hours every 2 weeks. So you agree that that's what you meant to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
and our
she's
vacation again.
So she's cut you. Okay. I'm just making a list of your complaints. Complaint number 1, you say that the gratuity pool is less. Is the gratuity pool less because you're working fewer hours? Or you're just saying that she's taking your gratuity and you don't believe that she's dividing it up properly? Are the gratuities shared amongst everyone at the hotel?
Yes, ma'am. Everyone.
So someone leaves you a tip, that's not specific to you, or is it?
To us, ma'am, because we are the one that cleans the rooms.
Okay, so if they leave a little $50 on the bed, that's $50 is supposed to go to whoever's cleaning the room. That's not part of the gratuity pool.
No, ma'am, it's for you. Because remember, Miss Sandra, you're doing the room all week.
Yeah. So you're saying that what she is doing is she's going in or having somebody else go in, pick up that $50 when the guest is leaving, and does whatever with that, and only gives you whatever she wants out of that.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right. Complaint number 2, she has cut down your number of hours and keeps hiring people. So you're wondering why keep hiring people when you have people there who need to work the 45 hours per week?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The third complaint now you're going to tell, and then you say that there's this general sense that she's hiring people who are from particular countries, who they then are supervisors, husband and wife teams, and there's a lot of nepotism, which means they're looking out for each other because they're friends or family or whatever. And she's aware of this connection, and she's allowing these people to come in there and then recruit and hire each other.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you're going to make a complaint about vacation pay. What's the complaint about the vacation pay?
Vacation pay, ma'am. And there's a place I work, you get all of your vacation pay when you're going or when you're coming. What Miss Carla did, ma'am, she divided vacation pay in three. 3 times you get paid, Miss Carla. And sometimes you're going on vacation, you don't have any money. So what they did now, the 3 times now, they would take out pension and insurance. So you get less money. Whereof, and it's a place I work, you get all of your money. So I want to explain why. What's
Well,
wrong?
no, say that again, because I'm not even sure I understand a single word you said. Say that again about vacation pay. What is she doing?
She giving you vacation pay 3 times you get your pay. 3 times you get it. Whereof sometimes you don't have any money going on vacation. You need all of your money, or you need it when you're coming back. She divided vacation pay 3 times. 3 times you get your pay.
What do
So
you
every
mean?
2 weeks.
Okay. So no. Don't laugh, because you're. I know. You might be nervous, but the laughter isn't helping your case either.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sorry.
So I need you to be very, very serious with me. So you're saying that when you're going on vacation, right? And a lot of people confuse vacation and Cayman, because I've seen this before, where people take their vacation and they think they're supposed to get extra pay on top of the vacation. So how it works is the law in the Cayman Islands specifically says you take your vacation, you're off on vacation, and you are getting paid regardless of the fact that you're on vacation. So you're still getting paid for that period, although you're not working. That's how vacation pay works. So some people think, I take a vacation and then you give me extra money on top of it. No, you're getting paid for that period of time. So you're saying that when you're taking your vacation, like say you're going to take, how much vacation do you get? You get 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
All right. So you get 2 weeks and you can split it up or you can take it at the same time. So if you're taking a week vacation and you're supposed to get that pay in that pay period, what is she doing with your pay?
She divided into 3.
Into 3 when?
So say you supposed to get like $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
This 2 week you get 50. This 2 week you get 50. You get me? So you actually don't get any money because she split it up. You get me? When normally anywhere I work, you get all of
well, if you're taking the vacation, so if you're taking a week, you should be paid for the week. So you're saying that if you're taking a week vacation, she's not paying you for the week, she's paying you, she's going to divide that up into 3?
Exactly.
Okay. Another person listening to the program explains what she's saying. She said she separated the vacation pay into 3 payments. So if you were to get $1,000 US, that would be separated into 3, and they would deduct pension and insurance 3 times. So maybe you'll get $400 out of the $1,000. I mean, I don't know why you divide it. So that is really weird. But you should get the same amount, because I mean the deductions don't change. But then why are you not getting it in the same pay period? That part of it doesn't really make any sense.
Ask Miss Carla. That's what I'm trying to say to you. She know nothing about housekeeping. Nothing.
Well, this is not even housekeeping. This is HR. Who's your HR manager at Palm Heights? Who does HR?
We don't have any HR. We have a JM. And anything Carla said goes.
So your general manager, which is Leonardo, he's signing off on this. But he doesn't know the law either? I mean, he doesn't know HR?
We don't have no HR. And Miss Sandra, I'm trying to Carla rule everybody in Palm Heights. Anything she said goes. I'm trying to let her know that. Nobody have any saying there. Carla have all the saying. Nobody don't have any saying there. Carla have all the saying. We don't have any HR to stand with. A matter of fact, we don't have no one to stand up for us. Because when we go to Leonardo, Oh, it's call off to say, sir, ma'am, call us everything. We don't want to say it. We don't have no one to stand up for us, no one to fight for us. That's why I have to come on the talk show for people to know what's going on in Palm Heights, because we don't have no one to stand up for us. And if we go to Labour Board and no one stand up for us, dear Miss nobody, we don't have no one. We against the world? No one. That's why I have to talk to you this morning, tell you what's going on.
All right. So someone who's an HR manager and has actually worked in hospitality before, so she kind of understands how it works. She says it is actually not by monthly pay because there's twice a month. It's twice a month, which is different from every 2 weeks, which is fortnightly. So 2 months out of the year, you actually receive 3 paydays because of how the month works. Which is right, because the year and the months are kind of broken up a little bit different. So she said, technically, it's not bi-monthly pay. She says it's actually not bi-monthly pay because this is twice a month, which is different from every 2 weeks, which is fortnightly. So you guys are paid fortnightly, I think is what she's trying to say, every 2 weeks. So there are 2 months out of the year that you actually receive 3 paydays. Okay. That part is a little bit confusing, but okay. What other complaints? What else do you have?
Other complaints?
Yeah, is there anything else?
No, ma'am. All I want to find out, why are you firing us, the older staff, and bringing new staff? And you understand me, what I'm trying to say? Why are you firing us? And you say, matter of fact, she said you have too much people. Why firing us and you're bringing in people every day? What's the problem? We haven't done anything. We do everything. Why not work with us? Why are you doing us so? So it's only 5 leave. But maybe next week the five are gonna go because you have people for standby to come. Sure about that one.
Okay. All right. If you think of anything else,
I'll give you a call tomorrow morning again.
Maybe just send it through so that we can have a look. And like I said, I mean, some of your coworkers are sending through information, but I need you guys. Thank you so much, Miss, as well. I do appreciate the call and trying to clarify, right? But I just want to say that you gotta make sure sometimes it's better to write it down, be as detailed as possible. When you guys are on your workplace and you see a pattern of behavior that is emerging and things that are happening, you've got to start documenting stuff. On this date, this person was terminated and this is what they were told. On this date, this happened, I was written up and this is why. So that when you come now to a forum like this and we're asking you these questions, you can take out your little black book. Although you're upset right now because you've been terminated, you can take out your little black book and you can specifically say, Miss Sandra, I've taken my notes for the last year since Carla has been there. And I'm not just relying on my memory during a very emotional time. I have my notes and here's exactly what has transpired and what has gone wrong. That is the level of information that we need to actually get something done. Because if the things that you've said can be proven and are accurate, and if Carla is telling you guys that she doesn't like certain nationalities working there and all this kind of stuff, well, it may very well be time for Carla to go. But in order for people to get to that point where you're convincing and they believe you, the devil is in the details, right? And so there are people here who are confused. I don't know what she's talking about. I'm not understanding it. If you really come with the level of details that are required, it doesn't become a he say, she say, mix up story. It becomes a story of factual information. Like this is when she said to me that she doesn't like Caymanians, Jamaicans, or people from Nicaragua. Because when I ask you that, you struggle to even remember how you came across that information. Did she say it to you? Was it hearsay? When was it said? This is why sometimes you got to write stuff down. When you are in a hostile work environment, the most important thing you can do is to document every single thing. Write
Okay,
it
ma'am.
down. And this is your coworkers that are listening to me, the few of you that are left, write it down. It is important that you have evidence. One has sent me screenshots of something. Now that is convincing when you have screenshots of conversations. When you can say, this department started out with X number of people. Now we only have 9 of the original. And that has happened. That high turnover has happened since Carla took over housekeeping. Right? So you keep saying that Carla doesn't have any experience in housekeeping. Have you ever seen Carla's resume? I mean, you don't necessarily know what experience she has. That's your opinion based on how she's been handling the housekeeping staff. So you are of the opinion that she's clueless about housekeeping. That doesn't mean that she's not worked in hotels before and she's not coming with, oh, I worked at this prestigious property. I worked at, in housekeeping, I was in charge of front office, housekeeping, blah, blah, blah. You don't know that. So this is now where we need to get to the bottom of it. In order for us to get to the bottom of what's happening here, we need to be fact checking and doing certain things. So I need facts. I need facts and I need figures and I need information. You understand where I'm coming from? So
Yes,
if you go back and you think of something, don't just call in again tomorrow to get flustered and don't remember half of what you meant to tell me. You gotta write it down. Write down the details.
Miss Sandra,
Send that
Miss
to
Sandra.
me, and then we can have a conversation around the details that you sent me.
Okay, ma'am.
Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Miss Sandra.
Yes,
Thank you
and
for your
and just to clarify again, what was the reason you were terminated? You got a termination letter?
No, she told me to send the letter, and I signed it. She don't give me any paper.
You signed it after you read it?
She read it herself.
What do you mean she read it herself? She read it to you and then you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you agree to what she was saying in the letter? Well, what did it say? What did it say?
She told she said to me in the letter, said that there are a lot of complaint and she have to let me go.
Lots of complaints
like
from who?
The supervisor them, because they are the one that check the room with the box inside the garbage bin. And in the room then we have something called card, like what we need to wind up, like some telephone call. So I never wind them up because I thought as a supervisor we're a team where they would have come in and wind up a letter from me and take up the box. As just like what I say to you, she called me about the box. I told her I'm coming. That's Darren, and she told me, "Say, Miss Jess, that's okay."
So you left a box in there that should not have been left in there, and you didn't wind up a cable. And then you were saying that your supervisors would come after you and fix it, but you do know where that doesn't even sound right. Like you can't leave a room unfinished and not done properly and expect somebody else to do it for you, especially not your supervisor.
No, but I told her that I'm coming because the box is, I don't know if the guests probably maybe it won the box because the box is like a gift box where probably maybe the guests buy in wife a watch or something like that. I don't know probably maybe if the guests did want the box. I could not take it out like that. You understand me? And I saw the picture.
So you saw the box and you left it in there because you didn't know if it was to be discarded.
Right. If the guests don't want it because it's a box with maybe a watch or something.
And where was the box in the room? Was it in the garbage bin?
In the garbage bin.
But if somebody puts something in the garbage bin, that normally means that they don't want it.
But that garbage bin is inside of the room. It's not the one in the kitchen or the one in the bathroom where you say something.
No, but listen, if you put something in the garbage, that means you're done.
That's true.
That don't make no sense. Now let's call a spade a spade. I mean, I travel all the time and my hotel rooms are a mess because, I'm shopping and got tags and receipts and stuff all over the place. But the one thing I know, if I put it in the corner, even by the garbage bin, because sometimes they give you these small bins, nothing can't fit in them. If I put all my boxes and whatever there, that's an indication that that's all to go in the garbage. So it's a small, minute point, but it's still important. If somebody puts a box, I don't care. Listen, it could be a box full of cash, even. You know, if they put it in the garbage bin, it looks to me like they meant to throw it away.
Okay.
So you dispose of it. And then there was some cable that you didn't wind up.
That's true.
All right. If you think of anything else.
Well, in Palm Heights, we have the bathroom. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have one in lunchroom, and we have two around the corner, and we have one downstairs. When Miss Carla come, Miss Carla lock up the two around the corner. Some man and woman using the bathroom, where sometimes they go there, we have to line up to use the bathroom. Where do you go and see a locked up bathroom and there's so many staff using it? You have staff from the kitchen, staff from everywhere. Two bathrooms she leave, one in the lunchroom and one downstairs. The two around the corner where we always go to use, where we don't have to line up, she closed that up. And that's when Miss Carla come there, she lock up the bathroom. I have picture of the bathroom where she do one in the lunchroom and the one around the corner where she locked up. The one around the corner, that's man and woman. That's four, where we don't have to maybe have a line. You got me, Miss Sandra? How can a man and woman use a bathroom together? That's foolishness.
Okay.
We have to line up.
All right.
Big line.
Thank you very much, my dear. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sandra.
Yes,
and thank you
ma'am.
for listening to me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a good day now.
You too. So, we do have some other complaints. So this is one picture here that someone has provided. And this picture is a picture of someone, a lady cleaning out and digging in the garbage. Okay. And the point that they're making here is that they say, do you think that she could put Carla, a Jamaican, a Caymanian, or Nicaraguan, in the garbage dump where it is not even sorted trash, it's just garbage from all over the house? Who in their right mind would do that if they're not Nepalese? Well, so the allegation here is why the Nepalese community is able to keep their job and I guess get the job is because they can be treated any kind of way. And literally you can put them to get in the garbage bin and they will clean out and dig out the garbage. Is the garbage at least in bags? Or is just stuff just thrown in there? I mean, normally you have a professional garbage company come, even to my house bins. I'm not doing this for, so this is kind of nasty for real. I have a company that comes and disinfects them and washes them out because, you know, maggots and all kind of stuff be in there. So that's kind of low-key nasty. Not low-key, that's actually really nasty. But this is one of the things that another coworker has said is happening there at Palm Heights. And so a Caymanian or Jamaican isn't going to do this. They have a list here of all of the people that are working at Palm Heights now. And I'm trying to ascertain if these are currently working all in housekeeping. This is roughly the list of Carla's department. And there's still more people missing, but to show you her commitment to these people, here is Sunil's entire family. So how many of these people are related to Sunil? I mean, I will take and give the point that, to be fair, I mean, none of these names, I don't know if this is the Nepalese Association here, but most of these people on this list, just based on the names, I can tell you are from Nepal, or somewhere India, somewhere along that line. So I do see the point. And if you can get me a more comprehensive list, very few of these names look like they're from anywhere else. That is interesting. And you see 3 people here with the same last name. Another one here with 2 people. So that must be one of the couples. So yeah, I see the point that there seems to be a preference for hiring. And of course, this comes back to WORC. Whatever happened to the fact that we're looking for diversification in the workplace? So ultimately, the buck is supposed to stop with the administrators who are approving these work permits. So if our government is sitting back and approving these work permits, I mean, you can have a whole staff of, people from one little town in India if you want. But if government is one sitting down approving these work permits, who are you going to believe? I mean, who are you going to blame? The employer who is requesting it, or the government agency that is just signing off on these? I'm just asking the question. Jerry on, I think that was from earlier. What our guests were on. Sorry, I'm trying to get caught up on some questions here. Some comments, my apologies. Play 345 2020 says if that's the company policy and procedures, then they have to follow. I'm not sure specifically what that was in reference to. Another person says, listen, Miss Sandra, she doesn't have any HK experience, housekeeping. If you need proof, check her LinkedIn profile too. How many Caymanians are working in there? Well, a Caribbean girl, based on this list, I don't see a single Caymanian sounding or even a Jamaican sounding name at this point. So we do have, obviously, Carla's information. One person says, Sandra, some of them cannot read or write. Some of who? The Nepalese people or the other people that are working there? Another person says that they keep letting people go, claiming that they're overstaffed when they're let go, but then they turn around and hire more people on work permits. No lie, it's more than 300 staff working there and only 2 bathrooms for staff. I think that that's the limitation of that property. And I'm going to be very, very honest with you about the bathroom situation. This is where, again, let's talk about government accountability. It's shocking to me that our government even approved that property to be converted and used in the way in which it is being used. I know it was a hotel before, but there's certain things that have happened to the hotel and the space and the conversion, which means that there's limited space. I mean, that property hasn't been remodeled fully or expanded or anything like that. But yeah, when it was, what hotel was it back in the day? Hyatt? Did they have the same number of housekeepers there? I mean, not housekeepers, but the same number of staff? I'm not really sure because it's now a boutique hotel. And so I do think that it's different in how it operates and maybe different in the staff complements. But would it have had 300 people back then? Maybe they needed to consider how it was actually being, laid out. But this person's saying, but they had more bathrooms. It's a mess, without a doubt. So another person says it's not a lie what she's saying that they don't like Caymanians. Everyone know she said it in the comment that she don't like them. She say that they do. She say they do like work. They do like work. I need a little bit of clarification on that. So all the new staff were from Nepal and Africa, and her friends, family, husband, and wife. They don't like work. So she's saying the Caymanians don't like to work. Another person says, no one wants to speak up because we need our jobs. But if they would stop her from firing people, you'd see how many people would speak up. Oh my goodness. All right. This person says, so something about there's only Omar. I think this is in the spa housekeepers. I don't know. There's only Omar, the housekeeper. He's a Jamaican, not from Nepal. The other 7 housekeepers are all from Nepal. So lots of allegations here about payment of money to bring people here. And I must say, just as an aside, because these people have actually been in court already, we do know that there is evidence that have been presented in court that there is some kind of Nepalese human trafficking ring happening in this country, because you guys will remember that we reported on this in the news on Cayman Mall Road, and the chief magistrate said when she was adjudicating this case, that her issue with CBC is that they did not properly continue to do the investigation to find out who else was involved in this. Because she's like, okay, they caught the one guy, but this is a sting. This is like way more than one guy. So the chief magistrate during that story, I think this was June of last year, he was distributing and possessing fake temporary work permits. I think that was the same case. There's just another one, but there's been a few of them involving Nepalese nationals. So WORC, not to try to be prejudiced against anyone, but WORC needs to pay attention to this, right? CBC, I guess, is trying. They're not catching all of them. Chief magistrate said they should have actually investigated this further. I think he was Indian, actually. Might be confusing the two, to be honest. But anyway, the chief magistrate said they should not have stopped the investigation with the arrest of just this one person, because there was clear evidence that there were more people working in tandem, and that, they should have found out who those other persons are. And a lot of it has to do with counterfeit documentation, counterfeit work permits. So here was one story: Nepal national sentenced and ordered deported for immigration fraud back in November of 2025. Right? Man accused of forging work permits and employment documents. So we're not trying to paint all Nepalese people with the same brush, but what I am saying is that we are aware that we already have some of their own nationals right here engaging. Let me see if I can find this. This was Chief Magistrate Hernandez. Some of their own nationals engaging in this type of behavior. So that means As with all things compliance related, quite frankly, the level of scrutiny, I think this was the Indian guy. This is September of 2024. The level of scrutiny has to be such that it is based on a risk profile, right? Yeah, this was okay. This was an Indian guy, actually. Look at all these charges, false document charges. And she said during this, she says, it is unfortunate that the authorities did not proceed with a more sophisticated investigation to ensure that all of the involved persons were brought before the court. That was her exact quote during the proceedings. So I can assure you that it's happening more and more across all of the communities, but some, it's definitely happening. We brought to your attention Filipinos here on this show who are involved in defrauding their own family members and so on to be able to come into this country. Seems like this is the country of milk and honey for almost everybody except some Caymanians. And so people will do almost anything to get here. And I have no doubt that once you're here, you're going to hire your friends, your family, and the allegation that's being made against Carla and Sue Neal and all these other people there at Palm Heights is what they're doing is they're doing it at the detriment of other people who have been here or been working there for 5 years, they say without an issue, and all of a sudden now every single thing is a problem. It needs further investigation, without a doubt. I'll keep digging. Heaven blesses Sari's fashion across immigration is scamming Nepalese of $2,500 CI for 3 months permit. What do you mean by they're scamming them? Scamming them how? That's what she's charging to process a permit, or she's promising people a job here? And I don't listen. If you offer immigration services, you're not an employer, so you shouldn't be taking out applications for people because you don't have no job to offer them. Anita says, I would love to see the recent statistics and where most of our tourism-related individuals. My apologies. Oh my gosh. We need to start doing our squats again. Somebody needs to remind me we need a squat timer in the morning. Where they're coming from. I don't think much has changed. I still think they're coming from North America. Aliano says never, because it's not a theme or part of the marketing platform. The product is just the name. Being in the Cayman Islands is just a plus. Carrie says they need to stop spreading this huge lie that Caymanians don't want to work. We had those jobs, and in fact, many of us had all of 5 jobs. So that lie is spread by McKeeva and his posse. McKeeva was telling people Caymanians don't want to work? Anita says, when does any guest at that property ever really meet a Caymanian or experience what is real Cayman? Heaven blesses, many of the Nepalese was charged $2,500 to come here and 3 months permit from a lady called Saris, and she has a fashion store right across from the immigration office. But charged $2,500 for what? This is what I don't understand. Carrie says Filipinos and Nepalese will take any shit to stay here. Well, to be fair, they're not the only ones that I've seen doing almost anything. The Hondurans do it. Jamaicans have done it. And I've always said, why? Why would you go to somebody else's country and, allow people to treat you like that? They said, well, Sandy, it's still better than what we're getting in our own country. And that is the bottom line. So incredibly sad. All right, final call of the day. Good morning, caller. Hello? Oh, hold on.
It's
My
me.
apologies.
Muted again.
I had you muted. So sorry.
Morning. Thomas says hello.
Hi. Morning.
Morning. Sandra, the UDP, back in their day when they were raging and were flamboyant, they were the ones came up with the word unemployable. It was them that spread that. You can look back in all the archives of news and articles and you will find it. They said that right in Parliament on the talk shows that we are unemployable. That's why a bunch of us went and marched out in front of the courthouse that morning. And of course, a bunch of the UDPers came driving by to check us out. But we got such a response from over 700 tourists off the cruise ship that day, Sandra. Our local people, some came, but not many. Our response from that little protest we did out there by the courthouse and across the street from Parliament, it got 700, it was a little over 700 we had counted of people that had stopped that came out of cruise ship. And one of the people that was in that group was a reporter from the Tampa Tribune. And they went and wrote a story about it because about the fact that we were condemned for working our country by our government, our current ruling government, and we were labeled as unemployable and lazy. You read the Hansard, sweetheart. It's all there. So that's why I put it that way, because he was the one that started that in his UDP party, condemning his people, his own people that put him in the house. He was condemning. Because if you look at the statistics, the majority of unemployed people right now at the DFA, I stand to be corrected from the last FOI I got, are from the District of West Bay. What I say about you, multiple years of being placed in a situation they should not be placed in. Majority of the people that worked in tourism back in those days were from the District of West Bay. And I stand to be corrected, but I know plenty will probably call you up next show and tell you, yeah, or write you and tell you that's facts. So that's who we're going to blame. That bad leadership we had there called McKeever Bush. He would have one condemned his own people, carried that term through, and then all the expats came in and started calling us lazy and unemployable as well. And that's why we did our protests and marched out there about it. But, you know, he was a dictator. In my personal opinion of him, I probably get a lawsuit today. I'll let you know if anybody show up with one. Using the ICTA network to defame him. I ain't defaming you. It in the Hansard. You condemned us. You know, I mean, when you look back at all of the people that worked in tourism all those years, some of us had 5 jobs. I had 5 jobs, including one of them was Mr. Norbert Thompson's secretary when he was building Galleria. West Shore. He had Galleria was done, but I was his secretary when he was doing West Shore. I'm just saying, those are just some of the jobs I worked at the airport. I did the morning early shift, 5 o'clock in the morning. I was there to deal with the planes going out. I worked at Clemania, the duty-free store there. There is so much stuff that we did, the jobs that we held. We had all the jobs, but now all of a sudden we were lazy and unemployable. There was a handful of them messing up the system up in the Department of Employment Relations. When my brother was there, he found them. He said it was about 50 people, and he said in a year we had referred them out to I don't know how many jobs each one of them. They last a day, and when he weeded them out the system to stop messing with it, is when they condemned him. Because he was getting rid of people that came on that need work. Well, they didn't obviously need work because when you gave them jobs, you got them jobs from the back then when the Department of Employment Relations actually got you a job. They never stayed in the job. 50 people is what caused that condemning of us in this country by our leader at the time, McKeever Bush. So there you have it. I've given you the history all wrapped up in a summarized statement. You have a great day. Thanks again for a great show.
Thank you, my dear. Thanks very much. All right. Gabby says, I work at the clothing store. I work by the clothing store. Let me clarify that. There's always a line of people there most Fridays. A lot of them look like construction workers. I was assuming she had another business and was paying her workers. Huh. Interesting. Heaven bless the 2,500s to only let them come on island. Then they have to look for their own jobs. That's why you see so many Nepalese families here. Most of the Nepalese working for Celine and Kayla's construction company. Who the hell are Celine and Kayla? Lord have mercy. I mean, immigration, please. You need to investigate some of these companies. When they put in work permits, you got to make sure they've got work for people. What a hot mess. Okay. All right, folks, we're going to wrap things up here. It's a lot. And obviously, we want to get to the bottom of these complaints, but I'm really asking for you guys to come with your facts and figures. And, let's try to, if you're going to complain, we got to try to make it specific and pointed in terms of exactly what the complaints are and, what's going on. That's how you do something about it. You can't make broad complaints. You can't make complaints around inaccurate information or things that are just your opinion. You can't state opinions like they're facts, so on and so forth. All right, we're going to keep an eye on this situation. And no doubt we will have, Kayla Davidson, her. Lord Jesus. Celine was on your show before you call her out. I can't even keep up, heaven bless. God knows I really can't keep up with all the scammers and stuff that we have around the place. I wish I could tell you that I could, but it's just too many. Or mass. All right, folks. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe on the road, mate. Let me sneak a peek out the window. Still cloudy, partly cloudy, but looks like less chance of rain than we had yesterday. So keep it locked here to CMR. We'll be bringing you more news and information throughout the day. Of course, follow our website. CMRTV.com is the website for all the shows that we have lined up for you. We're out of time. You can't wait till I'm saying goodbye to call, folks. We're out of time now. So you guys, please enjoy your day, and we will be back tomorrow morning, okay? Have a beautiful day.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.